going through that stuff. I was telling them when we was riding and coming over here, I was thinking about when I was in Sparfit. I was in E722. I'll never forget that. I just told myself I gotta go to Sparfit. I was in E722 and I remember lights was out and I was getting up in the bed. This is my first time ever going in there. And this girl was underneath my shit.
Just under the bed?
And I was like, if you move, I'm gonna stomp your head into this fucking floor. Like I just thought, but she was crying, she was scared. You know what I'm saying? And it was so crazy. They opened up so fast, but she was telling me about something that happened to her. And man, we went to the bathroom and they got this whole long like tub thing where the water just sprayed right there. You brush your teeth and everything like right there, you know how it is, and shower things is up there. And I seen them when they was coming in to mess with her. And I was looking at her. You know, she turned around and she looked at me and I just seen the tear just go down her eye, right? And I was just looking. So this other girl, that's when I was Tingo. I had all these damn names. I was in 3 damn gangs at one time.
She the first person I knew was in a gang.
I was at 3.
Lady Nomads. You know, let me tell you something. She was in a gang. It was 7 of the Crown, and it was the Savage Skulls, right? And the Lady Nomads. She was in Lady Nomads.
Lady Nomads.
Lady Nomads. I went to a gang fight with her. They said when they throw the bottle up, you got to knock her out. They threw the bottle out. Deb caught her. Boom. Yeah, Deb. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, what?
The bottle hit the ground.
They was
this was a Friday night.
No, they was
Friday
really
night
fascinated about shit. And this really effed up because when I think about...
I want to bring you back to that girl when she looked at you in the tear ran.
And the tear in the eye, I was just like shaking my head like... I just wanted to see what they was going to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I just looked at her, then I went back down and I was just brushing my teeth, but I was still kind of like, just like paying attention to what was going on. And, then the crazy thing is like, I'm dyeing my hair to the color that my hair was. It was sandy, my eyes was light. You know what I'm saying? So they used to kind of fuck with us a lot anyway. Our hair was long, you know. They would just kind of say shit, but I liked the fight. Like, it wasn't a major thing for me because I like doing that. You know, I had uncles that was hitting us like we was niggas. You know what I'm saying? Right. Especially with me, like running around with them. But I just like, I ain't act like I was gonna help. I ain't act like anything. I just went to see who was gonna do something to her. You know what I'm saying? Right. So the girl was telling her, one of the girls was like telling her to give her food. I still didn't do nothing. I just looked and she just kept like looking at me, but I didn't leave the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? And then when we went down there and we was down there to eat, she tried to take her food. And that's when I got up, and it was like my first fight that was in there, which got me sent up because I wasn't supposed to get into any trouble or get into anything, you know? But,
do you regret that?
No. I hate a bully.
Right.
Like, even when I was in school, you know, it's so bad that we went to 238, and I really made it bad for everybody. My family, like anytime the Antneys came into school, they was pissed. Me, Dodie, you know what I'm saying? Because they was known, we gonna fight. Like you fighting up in there, I'm not playing that shit. I don't like a bully. I don't like people that take advantage of other people. Like that's always been something that bothered me.
Right.
It's always was something that bothered me.
But why do you have so much affinity for somebody who won't fight for themselves?
I don't know, keeping it 100 with you, I don't know if it was my anger and watching my mom be beat. You understand what I'm saying? Or some of the things that was going on in my childhood. I don't know if it was something to do with that, but I just don't like people messing with people that are weak. Like, don't do that. You understand what I'm saying? Like, everybody don't have that shit up in them. Like, that's not even a fight. Like, it's not a fight.
Word.
Right.
Like, why would you sit there and pick on another person that you know you could do something to that person?
Right.
You know it.
Sweet.
That ain't 100. That ain't cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming to fuck with you because I know I could do it and you ain't gonna do nothing. And now I'm gonna just keep doing it. Why that look? That's not cool.
Sucker shit.
That explains your disposition in music. in the music business. That explains exactly why you are who you are and why you are where you are.
And exactly why Leo Cohen said you care.
He told me that. He told me, like, I haven't seen Leo in a long time. If I ever did, I would apologize. I was pissed off at him for a lot of years because I didn't understand. But he was right. I was not coming in doing the shit that they were doing. But as effed up as this may sound, I understand.
What was he right about?
I understand. They got there before they got them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not going to give you that opportunity because there's no loyalty. There is no loyalty with that. This is not and the reason why he went there with that was because of Ludacris. Like when Chris, the foundation stuff and me doing, you know, all the nonprofit stuff and working with families and people. And I love charity. Oh God, I love charity. I love giving back. Like that's huge for me.
And that's what he told you to stay with charity.
I need to stay there. I need to stay with that. That's what I need to stay with.
And you cursed him out for that?
That says a lot.
Is this the part where you intro the show?
All right, we back. My expert opinion, the greatest show in the world. Yo, I don't know what it is, but like, I want to say shout out to all the new subscribers. We're still going up about 50,000 a month. Like, shout out to y'all. And thank you for tuning in to these conversations, showing that people can sit around and have conversations without all the rah-rah, the drama, and all that shit. Well, of course, unless Tony Yayo's in here, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Yayo. Hit that like, hit that share, let everybody know you in here. Don't cost you no paper unless you's a mother hater. MECC.
Salute, King.
So with them demos.
Marcus Clay.
Nice.
Fire.
Shout out to you, Marcus Clay.
Marcus Clay, fire. Caught on to him.
This is a moment. This is a moment for you, my guy. Live it up.
About 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, I got going through all the music, got put on to him, and he did not disappoint. He's a beast. Him and Villain Park, right behind, one behind the other. Villain Park first, and then Marcus Clay. Marcus Clay is dope.
Send me a link. I want to check him out.
I got you.
Show him BIGGA, man of God. BIGGA's gonna say 6 words. It's gonna be the realest shit in the world, and that's it. Whole episode. What up, y'all? Game on the chair. Soul B, you back, man? Oh, you read the rule sheet? You read the rule sheet?
How did you see it?
Yo, where's the rule sheet? Where's the rule sheet? They gotta see this. They gotta see this.
The one named after him? The Soul B rules sheet?
Yo, shout out to Chastity. This is like my PR/assistant. Damn, it's 2 pages?
No. Souls is one.
She made this rule sheet, son. What is on here? I didn't even read it.
Respect it, yo.
Yeah, I did. Phones on silent while taping. We totally understand we're adults.
We're adults.
No bathroom breaks. Oh, you put son. People gotta be able to.
How?
They can walk around the chairs.
Nah, I'm with Chastity.
Son. They gotta be able to. Like,
I'm with Chastity.
Come on.
Okay.
Get a jar. I'm with Chastity.
Yo, I can hear your voice while I'm reading this. Once inside and taping starts, that's it. She put the highlight on it. It's capitalized. That's it. Nobody move.
Nobody moves.
Yo.
It's okay.
Whoa. Number 5. See, y'all want equality and all that. If you're a male and there's a woman on the set without a seat, give up your seat. I agree with that. Give up your seat, bro. Why you put bro?
Oh, I didn't see that one. I didn't see that one. But here's a rule that has to change.
You think so?
One rule has to be changed.
Which one?
When you get to be where I'm at, that bladder don't always work good. So sometimes you got to get up and go to the bathroom.
Facts. You gotta make that. Nah, we gonna change that one. All right, cool.
All right, okay.
I thought I just
Call it the Deb Antney revision.
Okay.
Yo, what is this at the end? Yo, look at this. Note.
We
are not holding you hostage. We take a 5-minute break during the episode. At this time, you can call your people, use the toilet, eat snacks, twiddle your thumbs.
Twiddle your thumbs.
And even leave if you want. Yo, did anybody that came in here tonight read the rule sheet?
Well, there it
Oh,
is.
it's different from. That's not what I seen.
No,
Remember when I was asking you about the rules? This is
It's
not
yo,
the
it's
same.
back to
No, it's two sides.
That's not the same sheet. When
It's
I
two
was looking
sides.
at it, it had people's names on it.
Really? Okay.
I looked at something totally different. I didn't see
No,
this.
no. That was the email part. His champ, you did the
So you
email
gave me the
part.
wrong sheet.
I did.
Oh, okay. All
But
right.
it's alright. We're reading it.
No,
We're reading it out loud.
I have nothing to do with that.
Did you really put twiddle your thumbs?
Twiddle your
Yes, I
thumbs,
did
son.
twiddle your
That's-
thumbs. You
that's-
do whatever you
Does
want.
anybody here know how to twiddle their thumbs?
You twiddle your thumbs. Twiddle fingers. You can twiddle your thumbs. You can do whatever you want in a 5-minute break.
Yo, look, but here's the illest part. Look, she said, also, if you're wondering if you can do something that is not on this list, no. Just imagine if you were on a set of a syndicated TV show, which we will be. Would you do it? Could you do it? Exactly. Yo, you're hilarious with this. I like it though.
Solid.
Thank you,
got it
Chad.
in all-
And you speaking in
Thank
the
you,
speaking
sir.
in the language too.
No, it's the fact that I can hear her voice saying it.
Rick facts.
Yeah,
Facts.
that's what's really. No.
You're welcome. You're welcome. But
Yo,
I would use that.
yo, we got one of the illest Ninja Turtles in the nah, I'm just- my nigga 10 toes, man. You hiding the arms tonight, son? You hiding them?
They thought I was security for Ben. They like, yo, you security. Yo, security for you.
They was running up on you. They was like, yo, so I seen you. You security dude, right? Bruh, I'm just saying.
They made a video
Like,
about it.
Bro, what you do for a living, bro? Like, what you do that for? Why did you do that to yourself?
What?
Why did you make your arms that big, son? What's the point of
Hands
that?
work out. That's it, man.
That's
It's about
it?
health.
But you, at some point, you had to realize, like, okay, this is getting out of hand.
No, I was bigger than this. I was big. When
He
I
came
was
home,
way
he like-
bigger than this. I was big.
He was a little guy when he
Yeah,
came in.
When I came in, I was
When I
big.
seen him, like, God,
Yeah.
I was bigger than.
Yeah.
He just came home and just, but he was bigger than that.
Yeah. I could tell you own no suits. The measurements is all fucked up. Measurements is all fucked up. I already know. Yo, champ, you know the vibes. What up, bro?
Humble, blessed, happy to be here. Good is the enemy of great and extraordinary is mandatory.
Damn.
I like that, but why'd you say that?
Well, he's
I think the universe got in my tongue to say it.
All right, there it is. That's what's up. Damn. Man. Oh, you getting spirit? Oh, this is the spiritual side. this is the spiritual guy. Like,
Even the answer to the answer was deep.
word, facts. Yo, Bim. You came back to sign me, my nigga. We here. We doing
I was gonna sign you. Was humble.
Ah, see.
Was humble.
Hey, man, I was young, man, you know. If you was like your sister, you would have took me in and been like, yo, let me show you the ropes, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Here's what it is. Listen,
You got the wrong Antney.
we got a queen, a legend in hip hop. Just like my bro, but on a different level. Not only from her personal life and the transformation that she made and ushering some of the biggest artists, some of the greatest artists that we've heard to this day. But being a founder of trap music.
That's huge.
We're gonna get the story today. People been talking greasy. We're gonna figure it out. We got Deb Antney in the building.
He just clicked my ass off.
Now I always look for interesting ways to start these off, and I think my first question is,
Oh, Jesus.
thank you. What happened to your little brother Bruce Lee tracksuit, son? What happened to his tracksuit? He was tight. He had the yellow tracksuit, the Bruce Lee joint. He hung it up. Somebody, do you know what happened to it? He was very distraught
She
about
wasn't
this.
in the house.
She wasn't in the house.
She was gone.
Deb was
Talk about
outside.
your orange suit. Did you tell him
Oh,
about
you
that?
ain't want to tell about that.
Wait. There was an orange
It was an orange. You got an orange one?
He have an orange shiny suit. And he went to all the people's house knocking on the door saying, look at me.
I'm telling you something.
I was so embarrassed. We went to everybody's house knocking on their door for them to see that damn orange shiny suit. He had a little sequence around the little thing.
You had the rough
And the
one?
pat leather shoes.
He had some
Pat
pat
level
leather.
shit. At least it was the
My
skippy.
mom violated me, dog. She violated me.
You thought you was fly. Don't do that.
No,
baby.
Nah.
Don't do that.
Nah, you weren't knocking it.
Don't do that. You thought you was fly.
You went knocking on the door.
Look at me. Yo, listen. Yo, man, my great grandmother used to come to our house, right?
Right.
To go to church or anything. Everybody would get dressed, you know, like they go to church. I'm the only one wound up in the car going to church.
Right.
Nobody went to church.
What
Just
is
you.
that?
This is facts. Me, only one.
Granny made everybody. We had to go to church.
But you all y'all ain't come. I'm the only one.
I only stopped going to church when I told her what happened at religious with the nun did.
The what? What happened?
The nun.
There was a nun?
Yeah, so the nun, I told my grandmother that, my great grandmother, that I knew where the babies came from. Because the nun put her hand down in my underwear, put my dress up to tell me.
Where
She
it
touched me.
Wow.
But at that time, it was touching me. Like, she wasn't really teaching me or anything like
Right.
that. And after that, that kind of was like, I didn't want to go to church.
Who would want to go to church after
Yeah.
that?
He
I
did.
didn't want to.
I'm the only one. I had to go.
But I'm not gonna front when I was going back, even afterwards. Bimmy, don't lie, because I went to church every Sunday to get that damn money. So I go to the penny candy store.
Oh, you did that too?
Yeah, but they passed the bucket down.
But listen.
Hell
man.
yeah, I took money out the damn tray. God forgive me.
Wow.
I took money out the tray.
I don't want to go to eat. That's it.
Once he told me God didn't need nothing, God owned everything, I was like, what I'm giving money for? I'm going to an arcade after this.
I did, but you know what? You know what I thought during that time? Because we were Catholic, okay? I thought that all that thing I had to do was on Wednesday, go to religious, go and confess.
Right.
And do like 5 Hail Marys and some Our Father, all that, whatever.
Right.
I do confession.
Right.
And then I thought I was forgiven. Like it was okay.
Like that was
every
it.
Sunday I would do it because as long as I go and confess, then I was okay. At least that's what I.
Did anything ever happen to that nun?
Oh, my great grandmother was no joke in that church. She was powerful in that church. Yeah, some things. I don't really know everything because, during that time, we don't know nothing. I was a real kid then. You know what I'm saying? Kids, we didn't know all these things that was going on. I really didn't even know. Even for myself, when I had finally did have sex, I didn't know you had to take your car. I was humping and thought I wasn't a virgin.
There was nobody that was telling you, oh, okay, this is how it goes.
No, you didn't talk about that. No. You couldn't
Especially
talk-
not in Catholic.
No,
I've
you
heard
couldn't
those
talk about
stories
that.
before.
Yeah.
Catholic church.
You could not talk about that. I used to put mercurochrome in my underwear to lie to say I had my period.
Wait, what is that? McKillicone?
Mercurochrome.
Nah, I ain't that old.
No, that ain't.
Everybody young in here. though.
What's that?
I don't know
What is that?
I don't know, some kind of ointment shit that you use.
And there was
It's red.
The orange stuff.
It's red. It's red.
Red on.
Red.
Yeah, because I thought something was wrong with me because I was the president of
Give him
the
that
city
face.
committee. I didn't have no period. You know what I'm saying? I was 14 and still like everybody else had, I ain't have shit.
Right.
So I lied.
just to
I
be a
didn't know.
part
I
of
seen
it.
my cousin. And I was asking what she was doing. So I went and lied. Then it was so crazy. If you sit here and think about all of the stuff that went on
Right.
and things you couldn't do, and you look at how things are today, it's crazy. But I wouldn't really kind of change that a little bit because I'm glad that I still had a part of my youth.
Right.
Like I still, even though I did a lot of shit, but I still played with dolls. I would go upstairs and still sneak and play with dolls, and I was doing a whole bunch of things.
Why'd
But
you have to sneak?
what do you mean?
You said you had to sneak and play with dolls.
Because I was other things I had to do.
Because on the outside, you were a grown up.
Yeah, somewhere else I was something else. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Deb, are you still protecting these kids out here? Because, like I said, your whole reputation is based on how
I
much you
cannot
protect
help
people.
that. Like, I don't think that is something that's going to come out of me. The one thing that I did learn, like a lot of them, I'm protecting me.
Yeah.
See, everybody that I really do become close with, that's male and female, there's a part of me that's in them. And it's also something that I wish that somebody would have done for me.
There it is.
That's the biggest thing. So I have came to terms with that because a lot of things I didn't even want to face, a lot of things I didn't even want to discuss. You know, I made excuses for a lot of the things, but a lot of it had to do with me because it was shameful for you to talk about a lot of things. You didn't want people to know. You know what I'm saying? And I like the fact that, and when I'm on these platforms is when I could come clean and be real. So what is it that you can say about me that I'm not saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You can't say shit about me that I'm not saying. You don't have to.
Are you comfortable?
So I feel free. I feel free. Like once I release it, it's something else that's lifted up off of me. Because I carry a lot of people's shit. I carry your shit. And the only way to dump your shit is to dump mine.
Why do you volunteer for that part though?
Because I need it.
Carrying other people's shit?
Yeah, sometimes it's easy for me to get rid of my own shit.
But you also put yourself through the heartbreak of what happens when those people do you dirty.
I ain't trying to be funny. Sometimes it's okay, though.
Really?
Yeah, sometimes you already know what time it is.
And you do it anyway.
Sometimes you just know.
Right.
Okay, but wait, when we was talking off camera and I
You're just being
said,
hopeful.
I said it comes with the game and you just got to accept it. You said you refuse to accept that.
If you know, then it's something different. You know what you're going into. Not knowing what you're going into and you thinking that something is cool with you. Like if we're doing something and I'm thinking we cool. Everything is cool. We ain't got no problems. There's nothing going on. And then you just flip and go off on a deep end somewhere. Hell no, I ain't accepting that shit.
Right.
That's something totally different. If I did something, then I get what my hands call for. You feel what I'm saying? But if I'm 100 with you, and then you coming up with this 25% shit, that's something totally different.
And you
I don't have to accept that.
And you go through that a lot though. We hear those stories floating back.
When was
But
the
see,
first-
some of them are not as real. You see, you hear one side.
But what's the other side to the OJ the Juice Man situation?
Oh, shit.
The
millionaire.
Casamigo.
I'm so hurt behind. Let me just say you this. With Juice, and I'll still say this, I didn't do right by him. When I say I didn't do right by him, I didn't really give him the attention that everybody else got. Because he didn't give me no problems. I didn't give him the attention. But he was my knee baby. And he did need the attention. But I didn't give it to him. And I've always said that. I've always said that. But when he got on what's the name of that show they do? It's on about Black and
Big Facts.
Big Facts.
Big facts.
He know better. For him to get on that show and say he was in a hospital dying, Negro, first off, it was only me, Mojo. You didn't even have visitors. Nobody came to see you when you got shot. You almost got a dick shot off. Okay, and that's when he learned that he had diabetes. I hired a nurse, all kind of shit. For you to get up there and say that, you had the other side of the trap. So let me just go back on his music.
You said he almost got his joint shot off.
Yeah. And he was in the hospital. He got shot, and that's because he was getting robbed or whatever happened, the bullshit that happened.
Right.
And let me just go back to his stuff, okay, of what he did. When Juice was the first person to put a mixtape, it wasn't a mixtape, because, you know, a mixtape really is when you remaking somebody else's music.
Right.
But we had beats that was original beats during that time. See, nobody ever talked about me with all those producers either, okay? With all the ones that are out. That was another big thing there. So here, I remember Todd said, Deb, let's use this, and this is the album before the album. But it was still an album before his album. But his album never got to come out because of all the shit that had happened.
Right.
Well, that shit didn't even do anything. Right now, I pull my phone up and I'll show you on this text from all the way back then when I was texting them when the county was hitting me that they had his money. And I told him this. I said, listen, the checks wasn't big either, just to let you know.
What's
but
not
it's
big?
still, it's not no huge checks. Ain't no $40,000, $20,000 checks, $10,000, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nothing like that. But anyway, the checks was accumulating. And if nobody was going to collect the checks, then, you know, they'd take the money or whatever that was. And I text him, I'll show you the text. And he said, oh, shit. You ain't
Well, no,
saying
keep going,
nothing.
keep going with the story. Keep
Well,
going
when you
with the
go to
story.
the break, I'll pull it and I'll show it to you, okay? And I'm telling him, go to get your money. So then he's like, oh, you're not going to tell me? Like later on, he wanted us to go to find out about it. You know what I'm saying? But it's for you to get. I don't collect your money. You have to collect your own money. This is what you have to do. I'm not taking nothing away. What did I take from you? What did I take from you? What $1 million did you have? And when did I tell you when you was on your dying bed that you can't get out of a deal if you don't sign this paperwork? What the fuck you making me out to be? What are you making me out to be? And then people fed into it. I went on live one day, and there's some fun kids on there saying, give OJ the juice man back his money. What money? So I didn't go off on the girl. Everybody's like, oh, fuck, don't do that to her. I'm going to talk to her. And I said, sweetheart, how old are you? First of all, she wasn't even old enough to be out. She don't even know nothing about the stuff back then. But I felt I still needed to explain this to her. You understand? Not that I owed her an explanation, but in a way I did, because I'm older and it's still a part of history and how things are. I still want to talk to her.
Sometimes an unchecked lie becomes the truth.
When you don't say nothing. And that's what all these years, I've never said anything. I've never retaliated back on people because people know I don't do that. I'm not going back and forth with you with that shit. That's what you want to say, that's what happened. Okay, but this one right here pissed my ass off. And it hurt me because every interview I've ever done, I've always talked about how he's the one I didn't give the attention that he needed. He really needed attention, but he didn't give me no problems. He wasn't going to jail. He wasn't going through it. He just went through that spurt when he went through that stick up, and then they beat his ass in the club. You know what I'm saying? And took everything away from him there. That happened to him. It was a couple of different things that kept going on with him. But he couldn't come back from that. And then when he came here to New York, they threw shit at him. But Jadakiss is who really put him on. That's the man that looked out for him.
And a lot of people don't know that.
A lot of people don't know that. It was Jadakiss that opened the door for him.
They think it was Gucci.
It's with that song he did with Kiss. If you real and you know it, clap your hands.
He was still the one that took him under his arm, honestly. And the beef with Gucci and how that happened with me and him, he was mad because I signed OJ. But he didn't want to sign OJ. He didn't want to sign Juice.
So why was he mad?
He didn't want him signed. He even told Daryl, don't sign him.
For what? Why not?
Daryl Jones came down to sign him to Warner's. He told him, don't sign him, don't do it. But I wasn't going to let Juice go and somebody else come and sign him and he was there with us and running around and doing the stuff. No, I'm not doing that. He didn't want him signed. But yet now, afterwards, everything else that comes up, oh, he the man, he did this, he did that. No, that's not how that shit went down. You understand what I'm saying? You're not going to keep telling these stories and keep doing this and keep thinking that you could do all of this stuff. Like, that's not cool. Tell these stories how it really is. Tell the truth about this shit.
Well, what would you say is the biggest lie that's been told about you? Or told that you weren't involved in?
Oh, everybody's shit. I ain't been involved in nobody's shit. They done wiped me off the planet of the earth. You know?
Okay, so
I have nothing to do with none of this stuff. I didn't know anything. I didn't touch nobody. I didn't do anything. I'm not acknowledged. And let's be clear on something. And I'm telling you this with all honesty, okay? I don't need validation from none of them. I don't need that. I don't need it. Do you understand what I'm saying? I validate me. I'm happy with each and every one of them that I see. All of them that I see because I know that. When I look at these people that are with them now, you was nowhere there with them. You wouldn't even touch them. People told me they wouldn't even mess with me if I messed with them.
Damn.
Okay?
Fact.
They told me that, especially Gucci.
Fact.
They definitely told me that. You fuck with him, I will never fuck with you.
Who?
Gucci, he was the biggest one. People was heated.
Against OJ?
No,
They
just in
told her,
general.
and she fuck with Gucci. And me and her spoke about that, and I told her, that's where your heart at?
Okay.
Go ahead.
But those are like record labels and stuff like that?
Everybody.
The streets. It was really the streets.
That's what's going
They
through
wanted
Jeezy.
him.
Him and Jeezy's going through.
And that's with him and Jeezy, but that they still have nothing to do with nothing of how that was. But the person that I called at that time was Jimmy. Because when it was time for him to be signed, he said, Craig said, Deb, I got to get a man to come in with this because he was a liability. I called Jimmy Hinchman. No, I talked to Teddy. I'm lying. I talked to Teddy first, right? And we went to Jimmy and sat down and talked to Jimmy. Jimmy Hinchman is the person that stood behind me with the stuff. He said, I got you. He said, whenever you want to come out, you can get out. And that man kept his word. He ain't did no taxing. They ain't did none of that shit. When it was done, it was done. But that's the man that put his name up so that he could come through. The stuff that make me mad is that people disacknowledge everybody that had something to do with everything that was going on. You disacknowledged it. And all of a sudden now these new jacks come along and they're the ones that did everything for you. Everything for you. That's wrong. I don't give a damn if you don't say nothing about me, but don't say lies. Don't do that. That shit hurts. I love that boy like he was mine. Like he was mine. Like for real, for real.
Right.
My hands didn't call for that. Nigga, I stood up against guns for you. When I hid you in a closet and I went up against the shit. My hands didn't call for that. I didn't do nothing wrong to you. When we parted ways, remember Bimmy, when we went, he gave the chip?
Oh, yeah,
and I said to him, I said, swear, he said, Auntie, I need them to respect me like they respect you when you come through the door. I said, give me that chip. I want him to clean up. I just need him to clean up because he's a good person, honestly.
Yeah.
Away from all the bullshit, he's a good person. I'm not going to sit up here and shoot a bunch of shit about him or say a bunch of effed up things because he's really a good I mean, I had tons of fun with him.
Right.
Tons of fun. And we went through a lot of shit together, okay? But my hands didn't call for that. When we departed ways, your accountant in Miami, we split up everything, just did. To this day, I don't even take. So, AC, I had a part of that. You was my partner. I didn't come after you. Y'all sold all them records, did all that shit. I didn't come say, give me a dime, do nothing. Do nothing. I was making money, but all my money was poured back into you. Nikki, you, pouring back. And they want to say something. I'm not paying for a hotel, Juice. I said, don't go in them hotels and smoke. They're not gonna keep burning up my credit card, swiping all that money up, because they take the curtains down, they take everything down. When you start that smoking up in there, they got to replace everything. Y'all think y'all gonna put oxygen in there and it's gonna clean up the shit? No. You think you're gonna put towels up against the door and it's gonna clean up? No.
Right.
I had to pay that stuff.
Right.
Don't go out saying, oh, you took the money, you took the stuff. Well, who you think gonna pay for that shit?
Well, all right. So his accusation is that you came to him in the hospital and told him he couldn't get out of a contract. But this is at a time where
he got shot.
He was shot.
Yeah.
And he also got diagnosed.
Yeah, he had
Diabetes.
Diabetes. Okay. I was at the hospital in tears with him up by his bedside.
So he was medicated. Right?
He wasn't all like that. I'm talking about when he talked with he was talking about get me out of this, get me out of this. That shit never happened. Why would you go on there and that hurt me for Black? Because I just went on there with Black. And then the chick that's on there with him, I got the check to this day, $5,000 I gave her to put his stuff out. She kept the money and never did nothing. But I ain't say nothing about that. I got the check.
Who we talking about?
The girl on there with him, I forgot her damn name. That shit hurt me. Like, why would y'all do that to me? Why would you do that shit to me?
Was he heavily medicated when
No, this shit wasn't happening. No, he wasn't no heavily medicated when I went up. We never even had a conversation like that. It never was a conversation like that. He was hurt. Nobody came up there. No one. Nobody came to see him. His sister was there. I came up there. My son came. My son had Juice tatted on. He loved Juice. KO loved OJ. He loved Juice. Okay? We went to see him to make sure Juice was okay. Even when he going on this trip, I make sure I had put a nurse so he could eat right, everything could be right. Nigga, why you do that to me? I know I didn't do right by you. It's not that I was bad to him. I didn't give him the attention that I gave him because Gucci damn badass. Gucci stayed and got there. I'm so proud of him now, like, the way he is now. But his ass stayed in goddamn trouble.
All right, so wait. Because before all this, you was getting in trouble yourself. It's my man right here. But this family, you guys got a reputation.
Oh,
Can we
what that got to do
go
with the
back?
price of tea and
A
chai?
well-earned reputation.
But what that got, we didn't have a choice. My mother had brothers that were the worst of the worst. Okay, I had a daddy that was the worst of the worst. Okay, and
What's
and
worse than the worst?
my daddy did a lot of shit. You know, like on 150th Street, like over there where Catton was, it was a place called the Red Rooster. I was named. They used to call me Rooster, right? Because I was
Facts.
named after that. Because he used to put deuces on me. I used to sell $2 bags of heroin. Okay, and I was a kid. I mean, a little
How old?
kid, like 9.
9 years old.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
And you was deuce.
I had deuces. And they couldn't even get over on me if they just came. You know what I'm saying? And I used to be up there with my dad, and my dad was Sugar Daddy, and my Uncle Dennis was Cheetah Baby. But they was known. And my dad was known, he kept razors and stuff in his mouth. Like, you know my sister, you know Dodie, right? That's what Dodie was known for. Dodie was just like how my father was, like with the razors. But it was the shit that they did. And because I always was under everybody, I was right there with them. They really taught me a lot of shit.
Right.
So I was really out there at an early age. So it's not like it's something that I want to do. I thought that shit was right, and you're not gonna tell me that it was wrong. Because the people that loved me taught me some of the stuff. In some ways, I kind of corrupted them. Like,
All the way.
He shook his head. Yes.
All the way.
yeah. And but you didn't know no better. We didn't have nothing.
Right.
You know, you understand what I'm saying? We didn't have a mother, like my mom didn't run the street. My mom didn't party. My mom didn't drink liquor. She didn't smoke cigarettes. She didn't do all that shit. My mom only knew how to be a wife and a mother. That was it. So everything we learned, we self-taught and from their shit and what we learned out there on the streets. You understand what I'm saying? She wasn't educated or any of these kind of things. We had to survive. We had, you know, when the worker come to the house to go through the cabinet type shit.
Social workers.
Yeah, that shit was real.
So
but I've been running away since I was like,
Yeah, because your mom didn't want that in the house.
no, she didn't know. It wasn't until we got a little older that my mother didn't know. She didn't know what none of that shit was. She didn't know. My mother don't know what anything is. Upstairs in the attic, I remember my mom went upstairs and she said, James, what's the shit up here in the attic? And he said, Millie, that ain't nothing but some damn baby powder. And that's when I OD'd. Because I went
remember that
upstairs and
story.
put that shit all over me.
Yeah.
I OD'd off that
I
shit.
remember that story.
Yikes.
I didn't know. But the funny shit is going in and coming out the back. You understand what I'm saying? And going through the shit that I went through. So it's just a lot. Like, I don't drink Sunny Delight.
Why?
Because Sunny Delight is like methadone. Because methadone was in the goddamn refrigerator. And I drank that shit before. You understand what I'm saying? So, it's
Damn,
the
you was
bologna.
finding all the shit.
PTSD, that's what I said. Certain things that you don't want
Yeah.
to touch no more. 'cause
I
it affect
did.
that
I did a
on you.
lot of shit. Like, I'm telling you, I'm not gonna sit up here and go through a bunch of stuff because I'm not proud. But I've been through a lot. I went through a lot of shit. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that my thing with all the rest of them was the protective part of it. Like, I didn't want them to feel anything. So actually, everybody I was doing, I was saving me. With Gucci, it was Rara. It was my son that I lost. He replaced that. He was the element. They loved him. Him and Walker's relationship was not a relationship of no artist shit. They didn't have nothing to do. That was his brother. Woo. They were hurt. They loved him. They fucked the music business. We didn't care nothing about that shit. We don't care nothing about all that bullshit. It didn't mean anything. I let people run around say I was living with him and going through that. It's my house. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I let people make up all these fucking stories. They didn't know.
Right.
And Gucci can spend money. So even after I made money, he coming back. Auntie, he can sucker me out of whatever. He getting it. They gonna get whatever it is that they want. So I really never, like by the time the ending of it came, I lost out on everything. You understand? And then the people that I had that was supposed to be putting the stuff up for me where I could collect, they were collecting. It was like a lot of shit, but I didn't care about the money. You understand what I'm saying? But it's still on me. It's still on me because I put these people in place.
Right.
I did it. So I'm going to take that hit.
take the responsibility.
I'm taking it. I put him there.
How did you? All right. From New York, you transitioned to Atlanta. What was the reason you moved?
I just need to get out of here. After my son's father was killed here, that was it for me. Because where my mind was going, my kids wouldn't have had their mother. You know what I'm saying? And I knew that I had to get out of here. And I had to do better for me and better for them. I just didn't want them going through that shit.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So it was bad enough they had a corrupted father and a corrupted mother. You understand what I'm saying? We both couldn't be like that. So I remember one day I was sitting up there and I was working too. 'Cause I was working for BCW here. And in the group homes and stuff. I remember I called my sister one day and I said, I'm out of here. She said, yeah, right. I said, no, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to that airport. I'm going to call you when I get there. And I called the travel agent to tell her to get me a ticket, and I stopped all my checks because I was paying all my bills, and that shit, all my money went to all the bills in the house. I stopped every check.
One time, I'm out of here. You committed.
And I went cold turkey and went down there. And I said, when this money run out, I got to make it. I have no choice. And then I was tested. I went into Walmart. And I went into Walmart and I wrote a check and it just went through the thing. And I looked. They didn't ask me no damn questions. I said, holy shit. Paper game was the game that I did too.
Right.
So I said, oh shit. I started shaking. I said, oh God, I can't do this. I called my sister. I said, yo, I came into the thing. They didn't ask for no ID. They didn't do nothing. They just took the check. I said, yo, I could get some shit up out of here. I could go ahead and get some money. Like, I just started saying that, you know?
Right.
And I was just like, and she said, you gonna get it together or you gonna do it? She was down though, but she was like, you gonna get it together? And I had to think about it. So my aunt came and I said, I'm going back to New York. I said, I ain't staying in this shit. It was all dead for me. I had nowhere to travel, couldn't get around, you know, the way I wanted to. And my aunt told me to come over there with her. Campbellton goddamn Road. Why did I go to Campbellton Road? Campbellton Road was like me being in goddamn New York. I could walk to the store. They had buses, trains, they had everything. Now I'm moving.
Right.
So I went to a store and they had this desk there called McFugels. It was a store called McFugels. And I went in there and I went to do the application. Right, once they told me that. So I said, well, where the manager at? I had on some slippers. I didn't even take a damn shower. I went to the store and I went up there and asked where the manager at. So I gave him the application. I said, I need a job, right? And he looked, he said, oh, I can't pay you this kind of money. I said, well, how much you paying? $5 fucking dollars.
$5.
$5.25.
An hour.
And I said, I'll take it.
What year was this?
96.
96. Wow.
So it's $5.25. It called me Fugels, and I can only get like a few hours. So then it was Cup Foods that was on the other side. So I called up here to the reader, and I said, say that I worked in the meat department. Right? And I was gonna get a job. That was $10 an hour. So that was like me making $15.25 an hour. That's how I was looking at it, like calculating it, like doing it like that. But McFugels, I only worked in there 2 days. And I never got to go to Cup Food. So when I got in there, me and this lady, we just started kicking and we was talking. But I didn't know they called it defects down there. It was something totally different. And so I met her and she introduced me to somebody else and I met another person, then Gloria Chu, down there. That's how I got my whole start in there. It was Gloria Chu. That was the real world of coming in. And me and her was talking. And I came from diagnostic here and I worked for Ryan White. You know, I was a detox acupuncturist. It was a lot of different things that I did because even though I was in the streets, I still took up trades and still went to school and did things, right? She hired me on the phone, literally. Because everything she wanted there, I came from it here. So they had about 5 people doing one person's job of what we did here in New York. It was crazy. Only thing I didn't really have to do was go to court, but I did do court because I like to go into court. Like that's my client, I'm going to court. You know?
What's with y'all and this going to court thing? Like,
well, this is the working. This is the real world. This is the real world for me. That was something totally different. You know, and then it went from there. And then Ludacris, this is before Ludacris was even out. him and Poon Daddy used to come up there. I used to get them to come from the radio station. They would come see all the kids that was, there and the custody. Like they would come do a bunch of stuff. They would bring brand new artists to test out right there. We had what's that? Not Sprite, Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew would come up there all the time and do the stuff for the kids, and that's how that started. And Chris said to me, he said, "Yo, Miss A, that's how I got MECC." MECC came from Ludacris and David Banner. They couldn't say my name. They could not pronounce my name. It was country, so the way they sound. So I named my company MECC. That came from Chris and David Banner.
Saying Miss A.
Saying Miss A.
Nice.
And I named it MECC. That's where it came from. And he said to me, he said, Miss A, he said, when I make it, you're going to get the first check from me. I'm coming back to bring you a check with these kids, because he was touched with these kids fighting over TVs, like all the stuff that the kids was going through. And he gave me the first $10,000 that he didn't lie.
Salute to Luda.
Shout out to
Salute to Luda.
Ludacris.
Respect.
He kept his word. Yeah. He kept everything he said that he was going to do. He did that and more. And even to this day, any foundation that I ever loved would be his. And he never, ever, ever got bigged up for it. We was doing so much stuff in the communities. Like, I was busting my behind in the community. That's how I came across T.I. T.I. used to come over there. I remember one Thanksgiving in Bankhead, T.I. came, he had like 3 turkeys. And because we had tons and tons of people there because we was giving out all that food. Right. And he had all these kids chasing them with the show he did, Rubber Band Man, I think it was. Yeah. And they were chasing the van with the turkey. Right. And he used all the people that we had over there. That's how I came in contact and knowing who he was. Right. During that time. But Ludacris, I always will love him. He kept his word. Everything that man said he was going to do, he did it. And more for those kids. He really came back and he did it.
I'm shocked you didn't work with him more on the music front. I'm shocked you didn't work with him more on the music front. No, it was charity because I wanted nothing to do with the music. Right. How I came in is charity. Somebody, I can't say who it was, called me. And this was about Gucci when that whole deal went down with the killing and all that. She said to me, she said, "Dad, please help him." And I said, "I'm not getting in this music industry. I don't want shit to do with it." That came from his ass. Him and Corey. Because of Bimmy and Corey, I didn't want shit to do with the music industry. I didn't like the way they did it. And it's really because of Kelly Price. I was just so hurt with Kelly Price. There's a lot of stuff Kelly was going through at that time, with Mariah at that time. There was a lot that was happening over there. We ain't going through all that bullshit. That's water under the bridge.
But it's the reason why you didn't want to.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it because I love Kelly. Right. Like, I love Kelly. But, of course, Mariah, they was working with Mariah, so they had to be on Mariah's side. You understand what I'm saying? And Kelly got the short end of the stick. And at that time then, that's when Kelly was, like, really big. She was big. Right. You know what I'm saying? And, Kelly could blow. Right. And she couldn't get anything. So me, Kelly, and Yo-Yo, I'll never forget, we was in the studio crying and talking, and that just touched my heart. I didn't want shit to do with it. I told Jose that day, I said, I quit. I'm not coming to Soul Convention anymore. I'm not coming back over here anymore because I used to be at Soul Convention. Corey would have me over there doing the studio and doing all the shit. Right. They did that old bullshit. What was that? What was that about? That bullshit to Kelly, and that was it for me. I felt so bad for her and everything she was going through. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so when I got to Georgia, that was the one thing I vowed I wanted nothing to do with the music industry anymore. I just didn't like it. I didn't care for it.
What did you do, man?
That's what I was just thinking.
What did y'all do? Y'all did something. What did you do?
Well, Kelly was a background singer.
Uh-huh.
She always wanted to be lead.
She could blow.
She could blow. She could sing.
She could blow.
She could
Definitely.
sing.
Definitely.
Take nothing away from her. She can sing.
She the one singing the hook on More Money, More
And
Problems.
she's a writer.
And she writes. Yeah.
So what'd you do?
Did nothing. I wrote with Corey Rooney.
Okay.
Yeah. So they, it's back then the decisions that they made, it ounced her out. She was ounced out.
Right.
And that pissed my ass off. Period. Point blank, period.
Stop looking at me.
I just didn't.
You coming back.
I just didn't like it. And I'm pro-woman.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I see that.
Okay, so that's a big thing for me. You know what I'm saying? And
I actually love that about you.
Yeah, Yo-Yo was going through a lot of stuff then. You know, even she was going through so much shit. There's a lot of people going through a lot.
Right.
You know, and
you still ended up in the music business.
yeah, because you know why? I did somebody a favor. I was supposed to be doing charity work with Oni. And she kept calling me and I said, I'm not fucking with this. I'm not touching this. And then Gucci would call me every morning. Let's go eat breakfast. Let's go eat breakfast. And that's when the day somebody said to me about him, like I remember going over to Cat's office where Big Cat was. That's where he was a part of.
Right.
Jacob York, all of them was in there. I never going in there, and I remember going in that office and we was all talking, and she was like, help him, please help him. He going through this, that in the streets or whatever. I said, look, I can't do nothing for him here in Georgia, okay? I said, but if he go back home with me, he's good. I knew here I could do whatever I needed to do.
Right.
Okay? I said, but I don't want to be bothered with this stuff. Until somebody said that to me. If you fuck with him, Dad, I will never fuck with you again.
Who said that?
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh, they tested you.
Yeah, I know.
They tested you.
Okay, hello, I do wheelies sometimes. But my niece Tiffany said to me, Aunt Debbie, you don't never let nobody tell you what you not doing. Help him. And I looked at her. I said, Tiffany, I don't want to get back in this shit. I don't want to do this. And she said, Aunt Debbie, I ain't never known you to let somebody tell you what you can't do. And that's how I got into it with him. It was never supposed to be me working with him like that. It was only supposed to be the charity thing. But he was so persistent. Like every morning he would call for breakfast. And like Gucci would be up early in the morning, ready to work, ready to do whatever. He was up.
Right.
And that's how we started. And I brought him here to New York.
But around that time, you said something earlier about
This didn't have nothing to do with Juice. Juice wasn't a part of this.
not Juice.
Okay.
But losing a son
Yeah.
made you more open to working with him.
Yeah, once he shared a lot of stuff with me, like, you know, there's a lot of things that and I just don't care to go through a bunch of that stuff. Like, that I'm not going to do, okay? But, you know, he shared a lot of things where he touched me. You know, he touched me, and I grew to love this kid. You know what I'm saying? Just in teaching him and how to eat, and he wanted to learn it was a lot of stuff he wanted to learn. There was a lot of things he wanted to know how to do. And he was scared of white people. And it was funny to me. Because when we lived there, he was like, why you live around all these white people? It was funny. But it was the countryside. And how it was crazy. Like, it was like real crazy. But he learned. And I remember I came in the house one day, he was dumping his shit on my floor. Nigga, you done bumped your goddamn head. But he was so used to trap houses and shit like that, he didn't even know how to act with that. Right. But he came a long way and learned a lot of stuff. He went through a lot, but he learned a lot. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody ever knew, you know, now it ain't a secret of, you know, his mental and the stuff that he went through. But I never told nobody nothing. I never let nothing get out. Even for my PRs, like all of them were so straight. They knew they couldn't discuss nothing with anybody I had. That was a big thing with me. Don't let me hear shit. And some people, it was selected people that knew certain things.
Right.
Selected people knew certain things. So we always knew where shit came back from. So I was very secretive with a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not telling nothing. I'm not telling nothing. And we actually got to blow him. I actually got to blow him up when he was locked up. We made him bigger while he was gone than here because he was interfering and always in trouble. Oh, God, the baddest boy. He stayed in trouble.
Why do you think he was always in trouble?
He just stayed in trouble.
But why?
Was it the drugs?
The drugs was a big thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the drugs was really huge. But, you know, Gooch was fighting a lot of demons.
Right.
He had a lot of demons he was fighting. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what all of us in our childhood and the stuff that we go through and how we live it. That shit comes back into us when we become adults. You know what I'm saying?
It echoes.
It comes back.
And if you don't figure it out, it just keeps echoing. If you don't realize what you're doing, that's a part of something that happened a long time ago, and render it or fix it or whatever, it just keeps echoing. And some people just get lost forever.
Those who ignore the past are doomed to repeat it. Keeps, like you said, basically.
Yeah.
But in this, seeing him being problematic, you're staunch that you're not going to get back into the music business. You bring him back up to New York to help him out, despite somebody telling you that. But you told us earlier that a lot of people told you they wouldn't fuck with you if you fuck with Gucci.
He was definitely a blackballer, where they was like not fucking with him
At all.
at all. At all.
How much did it take for you to get over that part? What did you need to do to get out of being blackballed? Most people don't come back from that.
We worked. You see, all of them, him, Nick. The only person that could play on radio, Juice was. Juice couldn't go on radio. Nikki either, for that matter.
Right.
They didn't want to deal with her. They said she wasn't going to be shit. Every label turned me down for her.
Wow.
Every label.
They turned me down.
What labels were they?
All of them. I went to everybody. I talked to everybody. That's why if you listen to that song that she did, she talks about it in the song. But she always wanted to be under Young Money. She was not under Young Money during that time. So even when Beat Me Up Scotty came out, she was not under Young Money.
Right.
That whole thing was, the game was put Wayne in it so that they'd have to come take you. And it was Baby. I'll always respect him. He's another one I will always have respect for. He let me know they was coming for me. He let me know. He said, be careful. And they also let me know what she was doing. And
Who was coming for you?
In the industry, people. They didn't like it. They didn't like that I was a female and I was able to go to all these states. I wasn't taxed. People didn't tax me to bring artists through or to go through any of this stuff. They didn't like it that I also could get phone calls in the middle of the night and stop people from doing things to people. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I could actually call and get that favor in. Or get somebody's jewelry back or do different things. You know, even now I get calls from different people, some things be happening. You know what I'm saying? So it was like good, but I earned that respect. I did a lot of shit out here. More things than they'll ever know. I just don't talk. I don't boast about it. I don't brag about it. I don't talk about shit, but I did a lot of shit. A lot.
But it's the same shit that you was running away from. You were trying to get away from. But it became part of your arm. Because you knew you could use it. And you used it to help young kids live their dreams.
But you know the thing that just got me is like, I cannot think of his name at the radio station that took Nikki to Jersey. We went to this thing at the school, and that's what blew her up there.
Where did you meet Nikki?
Fendi.
Big Fendi.
Fendi.
Shout out to Fendi.
Yeah. Gucci had a show. Fendi had got Gucci for a show. And everybody knew I wanted a female. I wanted a female, right? I just had to have a female. And I'll never forget, Fendi, I'm coming into his store down there in North Carolina. He said, I got the perfect female for you. And I said, Fendi, get the hell out of here. And like, I wasn't trying to hear. He said, damn, listen to this. And I said, get out of here. I ain't trying to hear this shit. Because, I just could not find no female, nobody. Right. He said, listen to this. I didn't even get down the street good. And I heard that little bitty voice. And I said, yo, who is this? And anyway, it didn't happen then.
Right.
One of my security happened to be married to her cousin. So she was in North Carolina. She got stuck in North Carolina. He stuck her there in North Carolina, her in Safari. And she didn't have no money. They didn't have nothing. And I was on the phone with him, so I was talking to her. And I said, well, you want to come to Georgia? Like, I'm sent for you to come here. And I got her, paid for a ticket for her to come to Georgia. So when we was talking, and she's like, yo, I want a female to help me, and coming out and doing stuff. And I said, listen, the only way I help you is you have to come here. I can't help you in New York. I'm not coming to New York. You know what I'm saying? I'm here in Georgia. I can help you here.
So you went back to Georgia.
So wait.
I'm trying to keep track
I
of the
was
story.
in Georgia.
Right.
And Gucci was doing a show. I just told you. He was doing a show.
Right,
Okay,
but you took Gucci up
to New
here.
York.
I brought him up here,
Right.
but I brought her down there.
Yeah, but when did you
see
go?
the difference though? You see the
I lived
contrast?
there. I already lived there. When I brought him
I
up
see.
here, I lived in Georgia already.
All right,
No.
so was part of your method to just get them away from all the bullshit that they was
The
dealing
moment
with?
they
No.
grew up in.
No, it wasn't.
That's just how it worked out.
It's just how it worked out.
Down.
But no, it wasn't. It was that with him, I couldn't help him in Georgia. He had too many enemies. I couldn't help him there. I wasn't like totally straight. People knew me for the charity side of me down there, not street side. And I didn't want none of that to come up. I had a history. I didn't want my shit coming up down there. I didn't want to get into all of that bullshit.
You didn't want your past
but
following you.
But I knew I was safe here. I could come back here
Right.
and get shit done.
So by you getting shit done over here with Gucci in New York, it increased your power and everything back home. So now you have more of a foundation to stand on when you brought Nikki down there?
No, I know this sounds really crazy.
Yeah.
It just worked out like this. It really, God, it's so hard to
Just the
explain.
universe just...
It just
All right,
worked out.
so take us through the steps. All right, Gucci gets off the plane. He's here. What are you doing with him?
You said you worked.
Yeah. With the farmers, he had to learn. Take him through Brooklyn, take him through Queens, take him through Manhattan. He had to learn. He had to learn New York. Joe had the store up there. He was down there at the store. You understand what I'm saying? So he learned where we came from. So he started talking, because for a minute there, people thought Gucci was from New York.
He got the New York swag.
He got the New York swag. They thought he was from here.
Yeah.
Right.
And they really thought he was like, even to this day, people really think he's my nephew. Like, I still get along with his family. I'm still in contact with them. I still go down there to see. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and they still call me.
Right.
Like, it's still like that to this day.
Right.
So people literally thought that he was really related to us. They didn't know that it was just like that. So it all worked out.
You
So
brought
he
it
got
through
the
New
swag
York.
up here.
Yeah.
What was the process after that? What were you guys doing?
And trying to get him a deal and trying to get things to happen of what he wanted done, they wouldn't touch him. So, okay, so now let's go back to that then, since you want to go there. That's a good one then. Asylum, you remember Asylum?
Yes.
Okay,
Shout out to Beasley.
okay. Well, Todd was getting ready, it was getting ready to go under, fold under.
Tom Moskowitz.
Todd Moskowitz. All that was about to go.
Right.
He said, Deb, don't take it there. Let it come through us, because Craig didn't want that. He didn't want to deal with it. He couldn't deal with it because, one, T.I. was there.
Atlantic.
And at that time in Atlanta, he couldn't touch it. It was a whole bunch of little shit. I don't want to go into all that bullshit, okay? But it was a whole bunch of shit.
Right.
That's when I told you, when I talked to Teddy, I went to Jimmy Hinchman.
And then
I
Jimmy.
need you to back me.
Right.
And Jimmy Hinchman is who came in. So he was signed to Czar. He went to Czar, but still was so icy. Do you understand? But Todd said, let me do the deal. I need the deal. At that time, because they was getting ready to shut the whole label down.
Right.
The Asylum label's gonna go down. If I didn't bring all of this over there, they would not have been there. So I said, bet, because now I get to experiment and do what I want to do. And that was in the mixtape part of things. It was no mixtapes, because we're doing original beats here.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? 50 started out organized and allowed people to get deals off of those tapes that they was just putting out there. That's how people started getting those deals. The other side of the trap, which became Juice afterwards, with the other side of the trap, that's what opened the door for all these artists to be able to get deals off of those CDs the albums that they were doing.
Right.
But they was mixtapes, quote unquote, and some of them still don't know to this day. That's considered an album. If they sold it, that's an album for you. So even when you owe, I remember sitting in my living room with their amigos, and I'm telling them about that. And they was telling me about what they did, and I said, if you sold those things, that's your album. Those are albums.
Right.
And that's what a lot of people didn't know. So they was pissed with me when I went to share that information
You
with
were
them.
telling the secret.
And I told. But they took that away from me. My dumb ass never, and here's another thing. This is to me. It's my dumb ass. I didn't lock this shit down. I was so busy working, I didn't think about anything else. I didn't have people around me that was really looking out for me to make sure, okay, we got her on this side. Okay? Except I did have Julie Knapp that my lawyer had me with, but she crossed me. That bitch crossed me.
How?
Went and told all of them a whole bunch of shit when she was the one doing it. She was the one that handled all the money. She's the one that handled everything. She did it. But my lawyer gave her to me at that time. That's how I no longer had that lawyer anymore either. So there's a lot of shit that I went through. You know what I'm saying? But I was putting the right people in there, at least I thought I was. But I didn't really know the business. I knew how to hustle. I knew how to be a mother. I knew how to feed you. I knew how to make sure you're okay. But it was all the other shit that I really didn't know. I really wasn't no manager. People made me out to be a fucking manager. They gave me that name.
But you were learning on the job. You were learning as you
No, I
went.
was doing the job.
Same thing.
No, I was doing the job. Failure's not an option. I'm a mother first. Remember, I told you that everything I did, I associated with family. So I'm not going to lose with that.
Did you get any tips from this guy?
He was cool. He was there with me. He was there. Joe was there. That's why you'll hear Nikki talk about them. We made sure that you know, it's the one thing that they made sure that they were okay. But stuff was just crazy. I had too much going on. It was just too much.
Okay, so
This is a little difficult.
It's not difficult. Just break it
Because
down.
there's a lot of things you can't talk about.
There's a lot of things I won't talk about.
Right.
Okay, and there's some things that's personal to the artist. I will not go through that.
because that's their story.
That's
to
their
tell.
story.
Right.
I'm not going to do that. Like, if I did something with you and you shared some shit with me, I don't give a fuck what they say about me. They know the truth. They know what time it is for real.
Right.
I ain't done nothing wrong to none. I ain't done nothing but love their asses too much.
Yeah, but Deb, I said before, every time I interview you, I say this to you. You are silent sometimes to your own detriment. You let people just invent these new narratives about you because
But they're
you
not going to
refuse
invent
speak.
new narratives. I'm telling you what's not there. I'm telling you already. I'm saying a lot. I'm not going to tell you all their business.
No,
I don't have to do that to
no.
tell you what's not real.
No,
Yeah.
nothing on
I
their
don't
part.
have to do that.
Nothing on their part.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't.
not going to tell you what's not. I'm telling you what this is and how this is. Okay, when he asked me what's the worst thing, telling me that I took from everybody. What the fuck did I take from you? What? What did I take from you?
My point is, I believe people do things like that because they depend on your silence. They depend on you, on knowing that you don't
'Cause they
speak
know-
and knowing that you're not going to defend yourself. It allows them the space to create these new stories because Deb ain't going to say nothing. Deb don't care. Deb validates herself. And these things they use to work against you. That's
Right.
that's what
But
I've
you know
been
what?
believing.
You know what? No, I say, yeah, they can do that. But through time, they're going to show you who you are.
Facts. That's
Facts.
true.
You are.
That's true.
So it don't
100%. But
matter.
in the
It don't
meanwhile,
matter. It don't matter. Meanwhile,
right, you got to deal with the people who don't know what's what.
It don't even care. It don't even matter.
No, you see,
Because
and that's
can
why
say-
You know,
can say
you
that.
know what hurts me? Let me tell you another thing. Now, let's go back to this. Let me just stay in this and go to this. One of the things that hurt me, like, even when I see Nikki, right? The shit that hurts is that you disacknowledge Georgia. She doesn't put Georgia in none of her stuff. She doesn't put any of that stuff in it. People,
How long was she there?
I don't give a flying freak how long she was there. That's what she got her jump off at.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? If she was there for a goddamn day, you can't disacknowledge that. That whole part, when she did a whole story on her thing, she disacknowledged this stuff. You know what hurt me? Gucci couldn't stand her. He didn't like Nikki
Why?
because he couldn't fuck her. He didn't like her.
Right.
But for you to give these big ups to this shit that he did, that shit was crazy. He ain't do nothing for you. He ain't even like her. He had a fit when I had him getting on a record. But I wanted all of them to work together like they all have, because we're a family. So we all have to be together. It can't be any of these. He's very selfish. He's very much to himself. I don't even understand how he get to sign artists. You understand what I'm saying? Because you got to understand, an artist ain't never going to let another artist become bigger than them. I never like artists signing other artists because they're not going to let them become bigger than them.
It's a fact.
And you have to understand that. But you can't disacknowledge. Like, when I sit there and I'll be looking at them, I'll be like, what the fuck? All of this stuff went on. All these things went on. You don't say anything. Like nothing. Georgia did a lot for you.
Right.
A lot.
See, Bimmy sat in that chair right there and was just this upset about the fact that Nikki didn't acknowledge you in her speech. He went in about that.
Yo, so many, I didn't see it. But, you know, like every time, like all this stuff, whatever's going on with her now, people will call me. Sometimes through my stuff, people will hit me. Some of her minions will hit me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, Dad, why you not saying anything about Nikki going through da-da-da? Everybody, you know, people will always say that, right? And I don't always see this stuff because I don't live through social media.
Right.
So I don't always see all of the things that's going on. You know what I'm saying? But when people come to me and try to say negative, I'm not going to let you say shit negative about her. You know, I don't want you can't talk negative about her to me. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not even upset. I don't never have to be near her. You understand? But I've always told all of them, if we never make it in this music, that's fine. But don't take you away from me. You understand what I'm saying? I always could get, listen to me. If I push the shopper cart up and down the goddamn street collecting cans and bottles or whatever, I'm gonna get money. Okay, that ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
Right.
This shit didn't make me.
Right.
It didn't make me. I've been getting money. And everything ain't always about that. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
It has nothing to do with that. It was the people. It was what I enjoyed. I enjoyed them. I enjoyed working with them.
Did you look at Nikki as your daughter?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you didn't have one.
I did. I did. That was my baby. It's like anything she wanted, she got it. Anything. I wanted her. I remember her birthday. I got her this little diamond. You know, I remember her furs. I wanted all them furs coming up in there. So every time she walked out there on BET, she was coming to something else long. She's so pretty, so tiny. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's just so tiny. And I love her. And nobody's going to take that away. I wouldn't give a fuck what anybody say or how they say something. You know, even to Fendi, to the stuff with us, it wasn't like a beef. It was a beef because we got into it because you wanted the cover to be called Fat Pussy. And I didn't want that. I'm not selling sex.
Wait,
I didn't want her to be. That's how that beef started with me and him.
Hold on. The cover, her album?
Her come up DVD. He had a come up DVD.
You wanted to be called
Fat Pussy. Yeah, remember that?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then over like that. Well, I didn't like that.
Fendi, you a wild boy, son.
Yeah, that's how that started with me and him. And he took this shit to a whole nother level. I ain't even gonna go there with that shit. But he took this shit to a whole nother level. But the whole thing was, no, we not selling sex with her. I'm not gonna let you do this shit with her.
Right.
Like, I don't want her to be that. And she wasn't Kim. And everybody kept trying to make her be there. But it wasn't her. It was all the other people. They wanted another person like that.
Right.
No, she's going to be her own individual.
Right.
And she really didn't want that. She knew what she wanted. And I'm going to honestly say she knew what she wanted. So my job was to give her what she wanted. And I can't let people do that. And if it's me, then I take that hit. I don't give a damn.
Right.
But that's not going to happen. You're not going to do this with her. Her shit was so secretive. I didn't even know Safari was her boyfriend.
For how long?
A long time. I didn't know Safari was her boyfriend.
Yo, what?
Yeah, I didn't know it.
Was that you
Wait, so they just around each other like...
I thought because...
You walk in the room, they just hop off the couch.
No, I thought he was her hype guy.
Right.
But see, I started learning also because, you know, another thing that people didn't know is Nicki and Safari was also with Full Force before. That's what a lot of people don't know.
Wait, what Full Force?
It was a group.
Stand out.
Stand out with Full Force.
What?
Yeah. Wow. They was there for, a lot of people don't know all of this stuff. That's what I'm trying to tell you, that is a history behind everybody that nobody ever talks about this shit. That's why people don't know what's really going on, because people omit so many things out of this shit. They omit a lot.
They count on your silence, Deb. We talked about this. They count on your silence.
And they feel like, oh, she the real one. She ain't gonna entertain this shit. But we are.
Deb don't even be on social media. She won't even see us talking this shit.
I don't even see half of this shit.
But hear the end of the sentence. Deb ain't on social media, so she ain't even gonna see this shit we say.
When I'm on there, I'm having fun. I'm having fun with people. I'm putting crazy shit up. I'm doing dumbass shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm just having fun.
Right.
But all the rest of that bullshit, I'm not with that shit.
By the time she catch on, story gonna be so entrenched, she's gonna have to talk them out of it. You dig what I'm saying?
But see, the first person that put a story up on me, Todd Moskowitz told Julia Beverly to write this whole story on me. You know what I'm saying? About me stealing, doing all this stuff, and a whole bunch of shit with that Ozone fucking magazine shit. Okay? That's where that shit first came from. All right, I know he do it because I sat in the office with him when he put stories out on people. I know what he do.
Yeah.
You know, right? I know what he do. Same things when he had Jim Jones and them up there, like fighting because Joey telling one that this one said this and that one said that, but that wasn't true. I'm like, damn, nigga, why would you do some shit like that? And you got them fighting like that. See, that's the kind of shit they didn't want me around. They didn't want me there.
What was his answer when you did that? Like, why would you do when you asked him? Why would you do that?
That's how they didn't like me. You have to understand all the other shit that they started doing to me, and these stories started coming out. They needed me gone because I had too much pull out there. People respect me. Guys did, God bless you. You know, me being a woman, and here it is, guys did. Suge. That was like my brother. I love Suge. You know what I'm saying? It's like all of them. Like, I love these guys.
It is so wild. You are naming some of the most infamous, some of the people with like the worst reputations in the business.
Oh my God! I
as people who have your back.
Teddy bear ass out.
Gucci, but in just this clip, Gucci, Suge Knight, Jimmy Henchman.
Yeah.
Big U. Shingy's the Big U.
Yeah, Big U.
Yeah, but the three she named.
You know, Trick wasn't letting nobody come into goddamn.
And you was going.
What
you was doing out here?
Like, how
You know, with Deb, it's a real recognized real thing, man.
But see, I did a lot of things.
Rocking with the
and
villains.
I really was around some real ass people.
Right.
Like real ass people. You understand what I'm saying? People that's in history books now, or people that you looking at doing stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like the shit that I was around and the things that I was doing. I had multiple lives that I lived.
Mm-hmm.
Like multiple lives.
But that makes you, I guess that makes you more understanding than everybody.
No, but you know what's crazy?
got
Sometimes shit
perspective.
sound crazy to you because I was all over the place. I was everywhere. I was every freaking where.
Even in this story. Okay, so Gucci's in New York. He gets signed to Asylum.
But okay, if I go back to that part of it, he really was the first person that I touched in Atlanta. But my first, that wasn't my first music thing. My first thing here was called Simply Music.
Okay.
I had Simply Music that was here. And that was the first company, like music company thing that I had.
Who's
was
your
Simply
artist?
Music. Tiffany, this girl out of Brooklyn that Tiffany was the bomb, but she wanted her boyfriend one and I didn't want him. Like, you got to do this and I didn't want him, and that's what messed up the whole thing there. And
So do you think that's why Nikki hid Safari from you? Well, not hid,
No.
but
no, she just don't. Nikki don't put people in her business. See, don't y'all realize that y'all don't really know a lot about her?
right.
Because stuff ain't out.
We know more about her now. She's been more talkative now about her personal life than she ever has been. What we know now comes from her.
Right,
Right.
I'll say that much.
right. But
She
didn't have
controls her
anything.
narrative.
There you go.
So okay,
And she's very well at doing it.
he's signed over there. Asylum is now saved thanks to
So they're
Gucci.
saved, and we have all the people that's coming because
You're funneling more people
Yeah, they was losing
into
it.
Asylum.
They
Right.
was like losing it. But
So this should have
I
been the
think
big
where I messed up with Todd at one is
not having your own label over there.
no, I did stuff.
I mean, like
No, listen, I messed up because I wasn't going by the things that they was going. I wouldn't turn my head to make Gucci and them sign stuff that they wanted done. I wouldn't do that. That's where I fucked up. And the next thing is, I never forget, we went across and Chris Lighty was alive then. Okay?
rest in peace, Chris.
And I never forget, we was in the office. And this is when they was going after Mona Scott. I didn't know Mona. I never knew her, didn't know nothing about her. And they said, I never forget, it said, we're going to make you the new Mona Scott. I said, Mona Scott?
Name who? Who said this?
Todd and Chris.
Right.
I said, Mona Scott? Who the fuck is Mona Scott? Right? I said, I'm Deb Antney. I ain't know Mona Scott. Right? Like that. So they said, you're going to do it. 50 said, don't listen. I'll never forget this. 50 was in the room, and he said, Auntie, don't listen to them niggas. And he said, come here. And I went in there, and that's the first time I seen Power, the stuff that he was doing. This is years.
Right.
He was in the works of getting this shit together.
Wow.
And I seen that, and we was just talking, and he was telling me, don't listen to them. And they full of shit, right? Like all the stuff that he was telling me. And he used to drop a lot of jewels on me. He used to drop a lot of jewels on me and tell me stuff. But he was in the office that day when they was telling me that. That's what did everything. I bucked on them. Like, I wasn't a person that they could control. They could not tell me what to do. They could not tell me to flip on you. You understand what I'm saying? Even if you flipped on me, you ain't gonna make me flip on you.
Right.
But the problem is, the cloth that I was cut from is different. So my loyalty is everything. You understand what I'm saying? But our lawyer also, Doug Davis, told me at that time, when I remember when I had to leave Doug, because Gucci didn't want to be with Doug no more. And Doug told me don't leave him. He said, you're going to go through hell. And he never lied. He said, you need me right here with you. Doug was good. But Gucci didn't want to be with Doug.
What?
I don't know. I forgot during that time. I don't remember what happened during that time, but whatever. He didn't want Doug. But I couldn't stay with Doug. And I can't stay with you. If he don't want to be there, I can't be there. You understand what I'm saying? It's the loyalty level, not knowing that I should have kept this man for me.
Right.
Because I still needed him. My thing was, if this what you want, that's what we're going to do. That's how I was.
Not understanding that artists don't know what's good for them all the time.
I'm riding with him. I'm riding with him. If
So
this what he
you
want.
like the fairy godmother of hip hop. You just meet the kids and be like, what do you want? And you just make it happen. It's crazy.
Sometimes to
That's
their
why-
own detriment is what I'm hearing.
No, but I think what we're missing is the fact that Deb's a black woman, first and foremost. She's a mother, she's a sister, she's all these amazing things. And this is a patriarchal society. Plain and simple. And being as patriarchal, when they see a strong woman come up that got a voice, that got respect in the streets, and steps into the music industry, it's like, hold on, she gonna disrupt this whole shit. We can't let her get too much power.
I'm gonna put you on, Champ.
We gotta put certain seeds in her artists' heads. It's
it's
a lot
not-
of shit that they
it's-
do psychologically,
You
bro.
can take gender is a factor.
It's a big factor in the music industry.
Anyone who's disrupting the game is gonna be met with the same force, man or woman. Gucci was blackballed. He wasn't a woman. He was just bucking the system. If you're bucking this, especially if you start fucking with the money, that's where she keeps saying the way
You
I
see,
fucked up.
Let me tell you what we did. They didn't play none of them on radio. So you know the artists didn't play on radio. But
That
we
was-
killed the streets.
Right.
They couldn't fuck with us when it came to them streets.
Bucking
That's
the
what
system.
I know best.
Bucking
See, I
the
know them
system.
streets. Like, that's where you're not going to mess with me at.
Right.
Bucking the system.
Okay? So I started taking music and I was sending different records to different places. Midwest. Midwest was popping with us. Okay? Midwest was everything. And different records was going different places. And then they would all meet in the middle. Before you know it, there were several records that was booming. They said, wait a minute, hold up.
Wait,
Bucking the
hold on.
system.
Break this down. Okay.
Don't try to get all my shit now. Don't math. One thing I know about you is that mathematics is really good with you. So you definitely do division, subtraction, and
Right.
adding. I know that with you. I've seen that in all your little things that you do because you got to break down shit. I got that with you. Okay.
right, man.
I just want to let you know that.
All right, cool.
Okay, I want to let you know that. I want you to know. And I already know what time it is with you and how you be chopping up and figuring.
We're going to talk off camera.
Yeah, but I already know how you be chopping. And, okay.
Yeah, all right, cool.
But the thing it is, we couldn't do anything.
Right.
And I didn't hit these markets. See, one thing people don't understand, or artists don't understand, every artist want to go to a market. You can't be a brand new market, want to go into a market where all these big fish are.
Right.
Okay? You hit them C, even the E markets. Hit them. Because when you're not getting them numbers up there, those numbers make up.
Right.
They make up.
And then it
And now
travels
you
back.
grow all those fans, and now these people are constantly talking about you. You got to know the game, but these kids don't know the game today.
Nicki was hot and not on New York radio at all. And I was hearing, yo, son, she just had a sold out joint in PA.
Goddamn right.
She just
Oh, listen to me, listen,
da-da-da.
you gotta-
Yo,
you gotta
she's
talk to
bodying
them.
Philly right now.
Hold on, she gotta-
and I'm like,
she
but they
the-
not playing out here.
She was the first one, right, with artists that had mixtapes going on tour. 30 and 40,000.
Bucking the system.
She was getting
Killing
paid. They couldn't stand it. That's
Killing
when the
them.
360s start coming.
That's right.
360s came. They couldn't stop the money. They were saying, Deb,
The Deb Antney rule.
Deb, you gotta they gotta give up this money. Give up what money? We doing this.
Yep.
We doing this. We was out there running around doing all this stuff,
Right.
getting that money. I remember me and Gucci so ill. Like we went to place, they won't get it back in. We look at each other, we sticking them up.
Yeah. That's what I like to hear.
Okay.
Give me that fucking check, man. Stop playing.
Car fucked up. We had to get some gallons of water to pour, leave the car all the way down there, pour the water in the thing. Me and him riding. Got that damn money though.
Wow.
And you don't want to pay? I did a lot. And I'm telling you, people, they started hating me.
Right.
I didn't care, but you're not going to treat my babies like that. Give me my money.
Man, you're destroying the ecosystem.
Yeah, give me my money. You know what I'm saying?
Disrupting
I had
the order.
the illest, the strongest team that was out there. My security team was arsenal when they came on there. I remember one time they got us and had us all out there. I had no shoes on out there in the rain with some ties on, back on. They seen all them guns. You know what I felt good about? I was just smiling. You know why I was smiling?
Right.
All my babies they had license. They was carriers. They had licensed carriers. They all had training. I had sheriffs, like big people that I had also that I would talk to train them. These niggas were straight. They were good. They were good.
Everybody
So
legal.
Everybody was legal. Come on now. They were legal.
Big up.
Okay? So when they came, it wasn't like they was coming to do something, whatever.
Right.
Yo, these niggas were strapped so good, we could take on the army.
So you had a problem with homeboy security.
Who?
You had a problem with homeboy security.
Who's security?
I don't think she knows that
in other
term.
words,
I don't
around
think
the
she
way
said that
dudes
term.
Round
being
the way,
security.
like we
Yeah.
just
The
your
homies
friends,
being
but we
security.
got guns on us.
Nah, we don't want that.
You got
You want to be
trained.
right when you come up in there.
Right.
These some street niggas. They got their shit together.
Right.
They ain't got no anything.
Right.
They were trained. They knew how to handle shit. These niggas knew how to stand there. Bitch could walk my butt ass naked. They ain't moving. Go on, move your ass out the way. Cause see, then one thing about them niggas, what they were doing, especially in Cali one time, they got us. Put the girl. See, Gucci was a big one for that. They put the girl in the room, and adjoining rooms. You know, I never let them book my rooms. You cannot book my rooms. You can't book my hotel rooms. And you can't even book my airline tickets because you ain't knowing when I'm coming in. You ain't knowing where we going. You just know we in town.
Right.
And let's meet up and let's get that money.
Right. Was checking in
Oh,
a
we
thing
ain't
for you
moving,
guys?
huh?
Was checking in a thing?
I check in everywhere I go. I put that up online one time. People told me I was crazy. I check in the different states that I go in. I'm letting them know I'm in your city. I do that now. Even now when I go places, I'm hitting people that I know I'm in your city. That's respect.
Right.
That is respect. At least where I come from is respect.
Right.
These Negroes don't know. They go in other people's cities trying to take over people's cities. Just because you who you are on the radio or people looking at you, that shit don't mean nothing when you come into their goddamn city. You have to understand, everybody don't live the same way. What they do here, they don't do down there in Georgia.
Right.
What they do in Georgia, they don't do in LA. They don't do that in Detroit. They don't do that in Chi-Town.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? They don't do it in Ohio. You got to respect where you are. That's why this shit is going on. There's no respect. You have to show some respect. It ain't that you asking somebody could you come in there or you going through some type of shit like that. It's the respect.
Doesn't make you a pussy to show
It doesn't make you that.
So, for some people, they believe that the check-in is like,
It's respect,
extortion.
sweetie. No, that's not extortion. That's not extortion. That's why they get extorted. Because you think you want to come in my city and take over my goddamn city and do what the hell you want to do. Only Georgia's like that. Like, I got a problem with that shit. I got a problem with everybody can come down there and do whatever the hell they want to goddamn do. There's too much shit happening to people down there. That shit wasn't happening before. And now it's okay. Ain't no bosses. See, it's even when we came into New York, a hit was put. But see, I got a call when I was in that airport. You got on X, Y, and Z. You coming into here. This what y'all coming into. Ooh, you in my motherfucking city trying to call a hit. See, that's what happens. So one borough call another borough and let another person know what time it is. My brother got that call. Joe got that call. Oh, I didn't know that was Joe's sister. I didn't know that this was their sister. Oh, that's like, oh, I didn't know she. No, now these calls start coming into me, letting me know what time it is. You can't do that because the respect part of it there, but that's the old heads. These young kids probably would never do nothing like that. But it's like hands off. You can't do that.
Is it possible to have any type of success in hip hop without having a street background?
Are you crazy? Are you crazy, for real? Where did hip hop come from?
Streets.
It came from the streets.
Right.
You see, in my time, the rappers didn't matter. Okay? What I had in that bag mattered.
Right.
They didn't mean nothing. I remember when Jay-Z was coming to the party, Pop was letting Jay-Z come into the parties and the little stuff like that. It wasn't about the rappers. If you was big in them streets, you was big. So there is no hip hop without the streets, really, because that's where it came from. This bootleg shit that's going on now and how people be doing stuff, but it needs order. It's fictitious now. Now everything is fictitious.
Right.
There's no respect nowhere. Everybody's going after everybody. And that was real, what we talked about earlier. We said that earlier about a grandmother, a mother, and a child. There's 4 generations, sometimes 5 generations in one. We never seen shit like that.
All in the same party.
They're all in there together.
It's the same party.
Changing the same thing.
You understand what I'm saying?
But understand that's like 150 years of wisdom being passed around. We don't have.
No, there's not that much
No,
wisdom.
it's not that much
amongst the
wisdom.
group.
They're not that far apart from each other. They're not that far.
They all learning at the same, almost learning at the same time.
You have to look at all of the things that's going on now. When my mom had company, I couldn't come downstairs. I wish the hell I was coming down there interfering with what they saying and what they were doing down there.
Stay out of grown folks'
You
business.
stay out of, a child was to be seen and not heard.
Right.
I don't like the fact that I couldn't speak on different things. I couldn't say some things. You understand what I'm saying? But I don't mind them speaking and voicing different things and being able to say some stuff. But I still have my youth. Even though my shit was still taken away, but I still had fun though. You know, you understand what I'm saying? And these kids are different. Little bitty girls all on the internet popping it, just doing it. And their mama's sitting up there popping it and doing it with them. And they think that shit cute. And they pressing these kids to be internet stars and doing everything that go on in their house, they telling it on the internet. You know that, what are you told in a black house?
Mind your
Shut
business.
your mouth.
No, whatever goes on in this house stays in this house.
Right.
Everything goes out now. Yo, you want to know why Joe Poopy is knocking off your girl? Because you telling everything. Why she got all girlfriends wanting that? She telling everything. They showing everything. You ain't never get up there on the internet now. They all on the internet sucking dick. Doing all kind. Who does that?
People who want your
You're
attention.
not supposed to be doing that. Whatever goes on in your bedroom stays in your bedroom. You ain't supposed to be out discussing all your shit.
It makes money.
What money?
Oh no, excuse me.
But these.
Hold on. Let me answer that. No. Let me answer that.
Yeah.
Attention is the new currency. So they're getting
Clout
attention from
chasing,
it,
clout
and
chasing.
that's the new thing. Attention
What
is the new
about your
currency.
respect?
That's for sale.
What about you? What about the respect
morals.
of a woman
That's for
like
sale. The things you're mentioning are for sale.
Those things can't be for sale.
They are for sale. She's talking about it. She's discussing it.
Let me
Everything
say
she's
something.
saying is
Let me
being
tell
out.
you this.
It's all
I
for
tell my
sale.
son.
Bag off that shit.
Let me tell you what I tell my sons. There's 2 kinds of women in this world. One that sees my front door and one that never see it. That means she can't even come through my fucking back door. So when you bring her to me, they don't bring chicks to me. You better know who you bringing to me.
Shit, we don't bring nothing down.
They don't bring. I'm not
They
going
don't
through
play for
that.
that shit. They don't play that shit.
I'm not going through that shit.
Nah, they don't play that.
So what
I'm
happened?
not going through that. Every time when a chick, like she'll
be
tell me
embarrassed.
something about that they like one of them, I go online, I look her up. You community property. You are community property. I don't understand why they think this is so cool. You sitting around here all day talking about your shit. All day you talking about your shit. Talking about your man. Talking about you. I ain't never seen so many wet pussies in my life. The average woman, a lot of them do not get orgasms. Every woman's a squirter and a dripper. There's some women that never in life ever experienced an orgasm, but you don't know what an orgasm is if you've never had one.
Right.
So coming and having an orgasm is not the same thing.
What's the difference?
But what's the major difference, bro? That's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother.
Right.
That's a whole nother.
Right.
So
combo.
But it's
If
actually
you know,
part of
you
this
know.
conversation.
But
It's actually part of this conversation.
that's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
Just put it like this. Half of them that's sitting up there talking, that ain't what's happening.
Right.
Okay? And then some of them claiming something is there when it's yeast. Okay? So the way they dressed and the way that they are,
Right.
and not putting and not covering and not doing shit is yeast. Let's talk about it.
Right.
But they ain't gonna talk about
Let's
that.
not.
They ain't gonna talk
Let's
about
not.
that.
They ain't gonna talk about that.
Right.
Let's go back. Go back
Biggie,
to.
what's up, Biggie?
Come on.
But this is still, it's still hip
What's
hop.
up, Biggie? What's up?
It's still hip hop. Why do we have to hear every
Is it
record?
steroids?
This is what I don't like,
Yeah.
okay? When Nikki came through, you remember there was no females.
Right.
She came through. They blessed us and gave us a time for all the women to come through. What happened? What happened? What happened?
Turn sexual.
They went into a squirting contest.
No, you know what they did? They started making platforms where they can make money off of their shit. That's what happened.
No, they went into this contest. I'm not trying to be funny, but they did. And it tore us up. We had it. Finally, we had it. One female after the other was coming through. I ain't heard no bars. All I heard, that's all I heard. It was all sex. It was all sex. But that's why a woman can't go on in the courtroom and say she was raped. This is why some of these things go on. Because you have to understand what you're doing. You have to. You have to understand when you walk around here and half your ass is hanging out, your titties is showing, all of these things are going, no, you don't have the right to put your hands on me if this is the way I am.
Men,
But
that
you
does not
are
excuse you.
That's not excusing them
Men,
for what they
that
do.
does not excuse you.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
That does
But
not
for all those
excuse you.
perverted people that you have there, and you got your babies, and you putting lipstick and eyeliner on them, and all, because there's some sick ass people out there. You have to understand the invitation that you're bringing in. Look at what you're bringing in. And everything on stage, this is all you're talking about. That these kids don't know anything. I got a whole 19-year-old baby over there that I'm trying to show her how this is and how you're supposed to do this. And she's looking at all these people to tell me, Deb, but I got to do it like this. But I got to do it like this. No, you don't. Nobody's going to listen to me if it's not like this. If I'm not talking like this, if I'm not doing this, then nobody's going to hear me. They're not going to hear me. No, that's
true.
not true.
Not true at all.
There's a whole nother group of people
Yeah, but that was-
want to
you
hear
can't-
you,
you
that
can't
these
even-
little girls need somebody to look up to. You know what hurt me? When nobody came to take that little girl. What's her name again? What's the youngest one now?
Carly Ray.
Carla Ray.
No. Who you
Coyle
thinking
Ray?
about?
Coyle Ray?
What's her name? The thick one from Atlanta. Lotto.
Wow.
Okay.
Lotto.
Oh.
I was so hurt that nobody came to take that baby and put them under her wing. She was the baby of the bunch. And put that baby up underneath your wing and bring her through. No,
Why isn't that happening?
no, it can't, because they too goddamn jealous. The only person that I root for, that I pray that she gets the right team, is Cardi. Because I think if Cardi B gets the right team, she will be that one that will reach out to all these girls.
Right. Yeah.
She would be the one. And another person that I thought was going to really, really come through was Remy. I thought Remy was going to come through because Remy ill.
Yeah.
She been through it. So Remy could gather up people, and she got game. She got all the shit that she could shoot on them. You understand what I'm saying? And then she got a lasting damn relationship. Her and Papoose shit is, I love them. You understand what I'm saying? He stayed down with her while she, you know, New York niggas, one thing about them, I ain't gonna tell no lie, they ain't bad. They ain't bad, some of them. They ain't bad. They will hold you, like, that's one thing when you get with one, they stay with you forever. You get them for, shit. But whatever. Mine's dead. I'm the Black Widow. But the thing it is that they need somebody that they can look up to.
Right.
We are
Role models.
We are the head of the household.
Yeah.
We are. We're the one that keep that shit together. But these girls can't even boil water. They don't even know how to boil water.
It's a fact.
How do we change that?
Listen, for so long, I wanted to put the whole thing together with women. You understand what I'm saying? But everybody always got something to say about the next woman.
You said you don't like working with women.
No, I'm saying that this is the music. Don't put no shit up.
No, I'm
It's the music game. I said that's the last female that I'm going to work with when it comes to.
That's what I'm talking
Because I
about.
become so attached to them. This is working. This is something different. My feelings ain't in on you like that. We're coming to do a job.
Copy.
Okay, so this is something totally different.
Got you.
But it has to be where some of them come up, rise up, and come out here and start reaching out and touching some of them and snatching them. You understand what I'm saying? It has to happen. You can't sit up here worrying about what people saying or how it is or looking at them. Your time is over. It's not over, but I'm just saying you don't have that youth in you. You cannot be that old getting on stage with these little kids. Bring these babies up and let them come out.
Right.
And let it keep passing on. But what you look like on stage, that's just as bad as some of these 50-year-old rappers. Your words start sounding dated. You're dated. And you still want to be up there doing that stuff. It's other things that you could be into. Bring up somebody else and let them come through. But we are such crabs in a barrel. We don't want to see other people make it.
I don't want to put that handicap on us because I think that there's a lot of people who don't feel like that.
Matt, where they at? Matt, where they at?
When you mentioned Cardi, I have noticed that she works a lot with newer people, especially the drill scene and all that.
She got Glorilla. She went and did the record with Glorilla, put that up.
Shout out to Cardi.
Cardi is very good when it comes to stuff like that.
Right.
She's very, very good.
She did a record with the City Girls, jumped all over that.
Right.
Well,
That's Cardi.
the other thing is there aren't that many.
This
So
is crab in the barrel.
right, no, I'm not disagreeing
I
with
can say
anything.
for New York, man, listen, there's a good 10-year stretch of New York artists not putting nobody on. Nobody.
Listen to
The
me.
dudes that you still see running around, yeah, shout out to y'all, longevity and all that, but y'all ain't putting nobody on. Nobody.
Yeah,
Let me tell you something.
There's
Listen to
reasons
me.
for
And
that.
I've seen a lot of
Listen
people
to me.
around
There's
y'all that
reasons for
deserve
that.
it.
Listen
There's
to me.
reasons for that.
When I came up here, even from with Nicki to French Montana, you understand what I'm saying? And doing stuff, they flipped on me, yo.
That's the reason.
They flipped on me.
Wow.
That's
That
the
shit,
reason.
I don't know. The hell you asking me why?
That's the reason.
Shit,
You didn't get an answer?
I don't know.
Yes, you can. Hold on, stop. It's not just her. She's not the only person who got flipped on by a team. That's by the artist that you put out. It's not just her. I've been through that.
Yeah, I keep it real.
She's not alone when it comes to
There's a
stuff
lot
like
of
that.
people that ain't been on this show that's like that.
New York,
Think about that.
I'm not
like
talking.
that.
I don't have to talk regions. I don't have to talk about nothing. I personally worked with artists, got them to this point for them to turn around and say, "All right, good, I'm out." Like, that's why it doesn't happen as often as we all think it should, because none of us see the other side. You
But
spend the
that's
whole.
fine. Listen. You talking? I'm not talking about the artist.
Right.
Okay, I'm not talking about the artist. I'm talking about the other higher echelons of people that want to be jealous and go behind your back, like all that sneaky shit that be going on that
Okay.
you don't have to do. You wasn't thinking about them. You see, if I never reached out and did the things that I did, you wouldn't have that person there, because everybody else was just sitting there crumbing them like you're not coming, you're not going anywhere.
Right.
It's not happening for you. But see, there's seasons,
Reasons and
reasons,
lifetime.
and lifetimes. Okay? So that could have just been my season for me just pulling them out. But I wasn't supposed to be there for the lifetime. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Just don't make it a beef with us.
Right.
And god damn it, I wish these artists stop saying everybody's stealing. That shit is so old. It's pathetic. Everybody stole from you. That's the quickest thing that a person want to jump up and start saying, somebody stole from me. Who was you before you got there? Did you ever think about that? What was really going on with you before this happened? Most of y'all are homeless. You had nothing.
Bumming it.
What is it for somebody to take from you when you didn't have shit?
And they gave you everything.
What?
Open the door for you.
What? I'm not saying you owe me. I'm not saying that you have to take care of me, that you have to do all these things. But not saying something is like still.
But
doing
tell the
something.
truth.
Tell the truth
Tell
about
the
it.
truth
Your
about how it
entourage.
went.
You got people that are around you that are saying all kind of shit.
And they
yeah.
just
And
showed
that's
up.
not true. They just came in.
I want to say
They just came
shout out to Rowdy Rebel. We just dropped a clip on him today. I reached out to somebody that's in that circle to get the interview, and they was like, "Yeah, he'll do it for 30,000." I said, "What?"
Wow.
I said, "All right." Shout out to Rowdy. Yeah, that's
Is
crazy.
Rowdy the artist that's here?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's from up
Ain't that
here.
the person who record I was doing? Rowdy?
Rebel?
Rowdy Rebel.
Oh, no. Okay, so is another Rowdy? Is it another Rowdy?
You talking about Rowdy Rich?
Rowdy Rich.
I think that's it.
It's
You talking about
probably
Rowdy Rich?
So let me tell you, my radio station, we blew him up. But I thought he was a Rowdy from Georgia. Somebody else, a friend of mine, I thought it was his artist. And when we took the record down, we got a call. And they wanted to know what happened. And I was like, well, who is this? Like, you know, I didn't know who it was. And I told him, take that record down. Because it wasn't the same person. Because I seen Rowdy, my Rowdy in Georgia. And he said, Auntie, you ain't playing my record? I said, yes, we are. Look at all these fans. Look at the shit that's going on. Look at the people taking your record from us.
Right.
They all taking the record. And it turned out it was an artist here in New York.
Nah, that's Rowdy
That
Rebel.
was Rowdy Rebel then.
You see,
He messing with Bobby Schmurder. Him and Bobby Schmurder.
I
got
love Bobby
something together.
Smurder.
Right.
I've not seen him since he's been home.
Right.
And shout out to his mom too, because I haven't talked to her in a long time either. But even for that kid too, him,
Right.
I love him too. He's a real talented kid. But they just don't have the right people up underneath them. They just like, they gotta learn. Like, everybody cannot be a yes man. Everybody cannot be under you to just agree with everything it is you doing.
They don't know
You know
that,
what I'm
though.
saying? You know my first question is, I ask every one of them, what are you willing to sacrifice to get to the top?
Oh, God.
Yeah, she just sat right up.
Let me hear
She
your
sat
top
right
three
up.
answers.
She sat right up.
What's your top 3 answers that you've heard?
They just look at you. Honestly.
They lie because they don't know what it looks like. So they'll say, "I'm willing to give whatever." It sounds great.
That's the first word.
They give the
Whatever it
cliche
takes.
answer. I'll do whatever it
Yeah,
takes.
whatever it takes. They'll tell you that. But I always ask, what are you willing to sacrifice to get to the top? You want to know something? The only person that really answered that for me was Nikki.
What'd she say?
She told me it wasn't about her looks. It wasn't about who she knows. It's about who wanted it the most. She said, and I want it the most.
So she was.
Shout out to Nikki.
That explains a lot.
Shout out to Nikki.
Let me tell y'all something. I don't care what nobody. She doesn't even really tell her full stuff. That girl bust her ass. She bust her ass. She did not disrespect. She didn't disrespect Kim. First off, I'm not gonna have that anyway. I'm not gonna have no females going back. I don't do shit like that. I don't get into that beef shit.
Where did that come from?
That's people.
People.
That's people. It costs. See, the one thing that artists have to understand, it costs money to go to war.
Absolutely.
You don't want to spend that money. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's everlasting. It don't stop.
As long as both
That's-
sides is getting it.
Just get, listen, you're not the same artist. Like, I really thought Nicki and Cardi was gonna really lock into each other. They're two different
I
people.
really wanted to see that too.
I wanted that so bad. I wanted that bad to see them two
Like,
get into each other.
Nikki on the Bodak Yellow beat when that first dropped, I was
it
like,
would've been-
I thought that was just that was about to happen.
It would have been what we wanted to see happen with Kim and Foxy. Like if they'd did that Thelma and
Again,
Louise
Kim and
joint,
Foxy.
we would have got
That
that.
would have been.
That's what we need.
I don't
We
even
need
think we can get a. Can we get a versus?
We need somebody to shift it where it's like, you had R. Kelly and Jay-Z do an album together. You got, 21 Savage, Drake do an album together. Why we can't get two popping ass female
because they
artists
feel
to
like
do an album together.
because they
Listen,
feel like
there was a
they
guy,
feel
there was a
like
guy
crazy,
that
bro.
tried to do all these things with the women. Then you had a whole bunch of women that they needed to be the headliners, and they needed to be this, and they needed
Egos.
to be that.
Ego.
Those egos start setting in the way, and it just crushed up everything. And I sat down with a lot of them because even when the thing happened over at Phillips Arena, they all came to the club. Like I sat down, and I talked to them and was going on. Me and Mia X talk a lot. Another person that's really good with doing stuff with females is Trina. Trina's another female that's very, very good at doing stuff with females. She's excellent with that. She's another one, okay? She will look out for other ones. But I will give anything to see a female tour and let them come out, but let it be something at the ending that they all come together and they all come out and do some shit together. That's my ideal thing, to watch something like that.
I
would
think you're the
love
only
that.
person that can make that happen, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you can make that happen.
Ah, shit.
Come on back, man. Come on back in the game.
Nah, that would be amazing.
Like, I would just love, like, I don't like all this beef and shit gotta stop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
agree.
when that shit happened to take off, it's like I really shed real tears and go and be depressed behind a lot of this stuff.
Right.
And it's crazy because, especially when you know both sides, you knowing them and you knowing them over there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's like I love Jay Prince. I love Jay Prince Jr. All of them. Like, they've all been good to me. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, even for the Migos, they brought so much in. But my heart bleeds for that mom. You understand what I'm saying? It's like I hurt for her, and they don't understand what they doing to us. This can't keep happening. This got to stop. Somebody got to come along. You got all these people study collecting money. All these people, you done collected so much money. You ain't never did shit for nobody. You ain't never really put people out. You ain't never did all this bullshit. Bring these people together outside of collecting money and tell the truth about what's going on here. Those are the people that people idolize. You know what I'm saying? Because these labels put up a bunch of stuff behind people, and these liquor companies put up a lot of stuff behind people. They do all these things that make people bigger than life. You understand? Then they forget about all the rest of the people.
Well, here's my question. Being that you was around Gucci and you helped him get to where he was, when you saw the verses with him and Jeezy, how did you feel?
I was disgusted. I felt it was so disrespectful. I felt that it was so disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm a mother that lost 2 kids. So that's the first thing right there, that hurts for somebody to brag and throw stuff up. And especially, you don't brag and throw something up when you really didn't kill nobody. So that's the thing that's ill. Why would you keep using that same story to keep bringing stuff through? These kids don't need to keep hearing that stuff. You got children now. He got 2 kids.
Yeah. Now, he recently released a song called Dissing the Dead, and he's calling for the kids to stop dissing the dead and acknowledging that, he was a part of that. But when you saw him and Gucci and Jeezy on the stage, that
was powerful.
Yeah.
For them two to be able to come together and do it, I just didn't like the
whole going at.
Yeah, the going that part.
Yeah.
But that's when I knew either the money was good or he really grew up. But I took it that he really grew up. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of shit that he don't do now that he was doing or whatever, because he's grown up.
Right.
That part was good. Why can't other people look at that and come together and do something? You know who else I would love to see do something? Nicki and Kim. I would love to see Nicki and Kim do something. I would love to see that.
Yo, Kim, we need you up here, man.
Yeah, if people
Come
would
talk to
mind,
us.
but if
Nicki, you
people
too.
would mind their goddamn business and stay out of people's life, stay out their life.
Deb, you know what it is, man.
They always want to come for the bank. They want to get personal with people. You understand what I'm saying? They want to go through all of that. If we're in the music, let's stay in the music. Stay out of people's personal lives. Don't worry about what's going on in their personal
Won't
social
happen.
media.
Won't happen.
That's hard.
Okay.
That's hard to do.
Won't happen.
But why you gotta hit people in their personal life? Why you gotta go through all that?
Because it's more into because we you can't unring the bell. It's too late. Like these artists, a lot of these artists aren't interesting enough to keep us captivated with their music. The music's not that
Facts.
good. So it's everything else on top
So
of
you
the
want to be
music.
that involved into people's personal life and what's going on in their personal
Oh,
life?
no.
When you become famous enough that your personal life is a headline.
And entertainment for people who don't live that life.
I think at that point you should realize that you have enough power to change things. When people are picking at your life to entertain the world, I don't know, go into politics, go into charities.
That
go
comes
into
with too
whatever.
much responsibility. You're
It
trying to
comes
give
with-
them responsibility
Nah,
that they ain't
bro,
gonna take.
listen, it's our responsibility regardless.
No, it's not for them.
You know what I don't get? You know what I don't get? Here I go again. Why they slander Kanye, but they don't slander Kim?
Kardashian?
Yeah.
Because she's quiet. Because she's quiet.
No,
How
she's
quiet
not
is she? How
quiet.
quiet is she?
She's quiet.
She
She's
ain't
quiet
quiet.
compared to him.
Nah,
She's super quiet compared to him
Why do people know all about her personal life?
because she puts it out there.
That's not quiet.
That's not quiet then.
Compared to him, she's quiet. I'm not saying
I think
saying
it's-
she's mute. I'm not saying she's not talking.
I agree
I
with
think it's
that.
more
It
planned.
doesn't. It doesn't. Hold
more-
on.
You don't really know.
playing
You don't
on
really
Kim's
know too
side.
much about Kanye's personal life. Like,
Nah, bro.
No, that's
That's
not
personal.
true. That's not
but
true at
this
all.
is where it seems with Kanye. If you just catch him on the right day,
He gonna
He's
say some
airing
shit.
he's gonna let
out.
it fly.
Right.
With Kim, it just seems like there's a whole team of people that's
Of course there
plotting
is.
and planning what's gonna happen.
It's
next. You know what I'm
control.
There's no talent there. Kanye's talented.
Yes.
No, but Kim
saying? So
has.
he doesn't feel like he needs to.
Kim has
Yeah,
the talent
to do
of
stuff
Kim
like
has
that.
the talent of manipulation. She knows how to work the system, and I've been watching this since she started. She is quiet compared to him. I could light a match right here, and it's a fire.
You know why
If I
she's quiet?
put
You know
that
why
next
she's
to a
quiet?
dumpster fire,
You know why she's quiet? You know why she's quiet?
What?
Because people are scared to tamper with her. Do you understand? They're scared to tamper with her. But it's easy to mess with Kanye. Because ain't nobody going to back him on this side. Mess with her on her side
They backing her.
and see what happens.
Look how many bodies she got. They
Okay.
okay. Niggas whose careers down the drain.
Ain't no such thing as that shit's
not
happening.
quiet.
He don't
No,
have
she's
anybody. The
loud.
first thing they want to say is he ain't
Loud.
shit.
She's
He's
definitely
crazy.
loud.
He's
She's loud.
this. He's that. It's the first thing they want to say about him.
You never heard of Reggie Bush no more, did you?
yeah, he's got commercials on Wendy's.
Throwing hamburgers at him? Heisman winner? Throwing hamburgers at him? Come on, bro.
What you mad? He's still supposed to be playing ball?
I think and,
I don't follow football.
There's a lot of shit to me that's like when I sit here and I look at the media that nobody have backup. You know, look at Wendy. And regardless of whatever it is that's going on, where's the people over here that protects and help? Like don't allow people to do this stuff. Where's our artists that die that we don't have nothing going on for them? Nothing. Okay? But you got women that were straight hoes. And they honor the hell out of them. You got Elvis Presley that was a straight drug addict all the way across the board.
Pedophile.
A pedophile and everything else.
Thief.
But
Racist.
ain't nothing,
Thief.
yeah, ain't
Heavy
nothing
thief.
being said about that. But Tom, a black man, look at Bill Cosby. Okay? He was the best thing we had for a family, a black family to come together.
Yeah.
Right? But let me just share this with you. Any woman that goes to a man's hotel room at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, you know what the hell you taking your ass up in there to do.
Dick.
right.
Not the
I'm not going in no meeting at no 1 and 2 o'clock in no morning with no man in no damn hotel.
Sure.
And then up to years later, y'all want to come tear him up. Why y'all want to tear that man up? Because what he's doing now that they want to apologize for some things, but you don't hear about that. Ain't no whole bunch of news around that kind of stuff.
No, not at all.
You said who wants to apologize about something?
Okay?
Well, we spoke about this. The more love that you have, you're a threat. You can move. You can move people.
But where's your backup? Where's your backup? So why you think that is the fuck it attitude?
Because
You
they're-
damned if you do and you damned if you don't.
they're
So even
protecting-
if you go out here and you fight, people died for us to do a lot of stuff that we're doing and we're not honoring them and we're not holding up to nothing. that they did for us. They fought for us. All the things that they did for us. What are we doing? But yet, whenever it fits, they want to sit up there and talk about, oh, the black power this or the this and this and that. But yet, look at the shit that's really going on.
Right.
And it's enough of us. If we come through, we can come through. And it don't have to be in violence because we got some highly intelligent people out here.
Not Al Sharpton.
Oh, whoa. Where'd that come from?
Where did that come from?
Where'd that come from? That's just how you feel. Okay,
That's how I feel. Al Sharpton. That nigga crazy.
Bimmy wants a break.
But I do feel like,
Bimmy wants a break.
all right, I do feel like some people are diffusers, but when it comes to, I think history is the best teacher.
But what's the history? They wiping us out.
The history is
They're wiping
Martin
us
Luther
out.
King had a dream. They shot him down. Now everybody walking around talking about they woke. Ain't nobody dreaming no more. They see what's going on. Deep down, we not saying it. We all know. We all know what it is. So either you figure out how to play the game in a way where I can't slap the bull if I walk straight up to him. I gotta find a way to creep up
Last
behind
I checked,
him.
my daddy's name is James Antney. It wasn't Milton Bradley.
Okay, there it is.
Okay?
I feel you.
Last I checked.
I feel you.
Okay? And here we go. Here we go. When are we going to come together? When are we going to come together and not get shot down? You can't say nothing. You can't do anything. You can't. And then another thing, even with artists, when you say that, if they got a little crew, they can say one thing about you and the little minions will come running in and saying all this stuff, and now they want to say all these different things about you. People scared.
When we realize that there's more money in us being together than taking a check when this guy's getting whooped to be silent or to help whoop him, then we'll be together.
You asked earlier.
Bigga, let's go ahead. Bigga, what's up?
I mean, I hear this all the time, like, in the shop, and I sit here and I try to be as quiet as I can with it, but it's so hard to be quiet because I know what he gonna say, but...
Don't worry about what he gonna say. Because if you say it enough, it'll resonate in
It is the same thing, and it's gonna be the same thing I always say out my mouth. It's right here. The church, once we got attacked and the church was taken from us and things was put in our head as false religions and all these things, and our grandmother was attacked and we didn't have a servant on the usher board no more, and growing up under that, being whipped by the neighbor and all of that, we went into a different place. And now we are living in the time of the Antichrist. You and we know that. We were taught about that when we were kids growing up. So we cannot sit here now and act like, oh, let's guess it's this over here or this over here. Oh, no, it's this over here. We are living in the time of the Antichrist. This is what it is. The kids don't even know who Jesus is. They don't even know who Christ is. You say God to somebody, they don't know what God you even talking about. That's what the problem is. They don't teach the Bible. You say the history we need to know is the Bible. The history we need to know is the scripture. You speaking about Kanye, that's what he's trying to tell you.
Right.
That you are the blood of Christ, and nobody caught that. This is the problem that we're living in. We are in sin. We're in the time of the Antichrist. We need to give our lives to the Lord, and we need to teach the babies our mistakes and stop glorifying it and stop getting up on these platforms talking about money and all of this stuff that don't matter.
That comes with a sacrifice.
What's the
I don't know why you be acting like I don't agree with you, man, because anyway. But I feel like, yes, there is no more morality.
He just got tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm so serious. Like, that's some real.
Hold on, we can talk to that.
That's real. That's the stuff that has to happen, and they don't have. Let me tell you something. The one thing with me, I did a lot of things in my life that I'm not proud of.
Me too.
I did a lot of things in my life that I'm not proud of. But this is my way of making up with a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? A lot. Even with me praying to God to take away a lot of shit away from me.
Absolutely.
I said, the only thing I ask you, don't take my fight from me. So it's okay for me to say a little curse and stuff.
Absolutely.
I knew that because that's a part of my fight.
Yeah.
Right.
But he did wash away a lot of other things. Gone. Gone. I'm grateful for that right there. And it hurts when I see what is going on in here. It hurts. It hurts. I feel people's pains when they're going through the things that they're going through. This ain't how it was supposed to be. And sometimes I feel responsible. Because I also helped put that shit there.
Yes.
So I feel responsible for some of these things that go on also. Regardless of what anybody out there say about me. I don't give a damn what you say. I know what I've done. And I know all y'all that want to be me. It ain't easy being me. That's why you can't do the shit that I was doing. I took a lot of hits out here. A lot of hits. I've been through a lot of shit. I lost 2 goddamn sons. What in the hell you think these people gonna do to me? What you think they can say about me or do to me that's gonna make me feel another kind of way? What these artists gonna say about me that make me feel another kind of way? I lost 2 goddamn sons. So do they think they can hurt me with the bullshit that they say? Them, the labels, all the other people that make up all their goddamn stories? There would not have been a lot of them if it wasn't for me. And they know that shit. I hid you out when I stood up with a gun to my fucking head. I did that shit. I would have had nothing to make sure you have. And then all these people want to claim what I did, what they have. You didn't have shit. Sleeping in fucking cars and every fucking thing else. I sacrificed me all the way through. And this bullshit ass shit they want to talk about blackball. You can't blackball a motherfucker that ain't a part of you. You can't do that. I am my own individual. And always have been.
There it is.
Always have been.
There it is.
I don't click up under nobody. I mess with everybody that mess with me. You mess with me, I mess with you. You don't mess with me, I don't mess with you either. We good. Period. What you think you're going to do to me? You can't hurt me no more than I've been hurt. There's nothing else you could do. I lost 2 sons. 2. You don't know my story. You don't know what I go through every day. That shit was something for me to do. Even me getting out there, it was a different kind of fight. If I could fight and do all wrong out here in the street and do all that shit and make it, I know I could do this shit. It's a catwalk for me. All this shit is easy. Even the industry shit is easy. It's easy for a lot of these artists. A lot of them could do a whole lot of things. A lot of people could do a whole lot of things if they get up off that bullshit and stop living in la-la land and telling these kids all these fucking stupid ass stories. And all these songs that's going out that ain't real. In school the other day, I went up to my school and I look at these kids. Niggas is in the strip club throwing $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 up. And they kid look raggedy as hell. Bitches going to the Dominican Republic, going all over the place, getting your body done. Your kid raggedy as hell and you don't want your kid. What is that? What is that?
It's a lack of morality.
How could you do something like that? How could you go through all of that and then want nothing to do? Let me tell you something. I got issues. I cannot stand not being a mother. I love being a mother. I don't know how to release my kids. I don't. I love my babies. I've always been the best mother. Okay? But I ain't got nothing for them to be shameful of. I just did a lot of shit out there. I didn't do everything right. When people come to me, oh yeah, you did. You don't even know my story.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I don't sit up here fronting and try to go to people and act like I'm all this in a bag of chips. I got issues. I still duck bill collectors. I'm not gonna sit up here front. Y'all live in a damn country club. 'Cause I pay my mortgage every month. You understand what I'm saying? But I live there saying I worry about you banging on my goddamn door. I would love to be in a regular neighborhood doing regular things. Because that's what I like. But you can't do it. Because of how people are that are out here. But that don't make it be that I'm anything. I put a thing up because, you know, every year I do a bunch of stuff for the schools. I do things for Christmas. I do things for Thanksgiving. And I said to do that. They said, oh, she must be broke. This is fronting. This is this. This is that. I've been doing this shit for years. For years. I built a whole store for kids. Coming in there, just a store that these kids can work in. A lot of people mimicked it and started doing it in the schools. It stopped these kids from bullying and fighting because now a kid can have a coat and have Michael Kors boots on or Timberland boots or Nike sneakers on. And they can do this stuff. I ain't got no whole lot. I'm going through hell now. I got a nigga that friend shot him on my damn tour bus, and they coming at me like crazy, suing and wanting to do all this shit. I go through a lot of shit, a lot. But I ain't out here crying. I don't stop doing what I gotta do. I'll still help somebody. Right. I'm still gonna do what I gotta do. That's what I'm supposed to do. That's why my father takes care of me. He makes sure I'm all right. He makes ways out of no way because he know I definitely saw seeds. He know my heart. Regardless of whatever it is they try to say, whatever it is that they do, they know that that ain't who I am. They know each and every one of them know what I've done for them. And they know I'm not telling their stories. I watch people be cool boo with people and the shit you did, if only that person knew. Even to their wives and everything else. But y'all all sitting around each other. I wish I could be that person. Sometimes I wish I could be that person, just run my goddamn mouth and just tell it all. I want to see how it is.
You wouldn't like that.
I know it is because that ain't me. I'm just talking shit. That's just hurt what he said. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, that's just some real stuff. Like, that just hurt. Our babies don't have nothing now. They don't have anything now. It's nothing that they have.
We gotta fix it.
How are we fixing it?
We gotta make it a trend for us to be a united people. We have to make that some sort of trend.
And that comes from bigger heads in this game. And they have to run it. They can't pass that over. See, every time we build something, I always, like, and I love him to death, but I always was upset with him for giving up Def Jam.
Russell?
Yeah. I always was upset with that.
Me too.
And that's what opened the door for them to come in and do all the stuff. Every time we get something, we want to sell it. We want to just sell it. No.
Keep it.
Pass shit down. I had my radio station for 10 years, right? And it's not even about the money. It's about me being able to open the door for independent artists. That's what it is. They don't even take advantage of it. I'm a freaking BDS station. Don't the artists know? If you don't play on radio, you're not even solidified as an artist. It's not about Spotify. Spotify just shuts you up. You ain't on no playlist of Spotify for real. Not the real ones. The labels got those. All the stuff that they tell the kids. Okay, come on, math, help me. Help me. You went to school, right? Break pennies down. Break one penny down for me. Break a penny down. Did you learn that in school?
Nobody did.
Huh? Did you learn that in school?
Nobody did.
Break it down a penny. Where did that shit come from? Where did it come from? Where did it come from? They brought the royalties up. That's why they made everybody sell their catalogs. Because, you know, the royalties went up and Negroes went and sold the goddamn catalogs. They ain't doing shit with the damn money but buying jewelry and shit. Okay, that's all. They ain't doing nothing with it. You ain't doing nothing productive with it. Are you doing anything to help people? It don't matter how people feel. You got to get your blessings. You have to get your blessings. Even though people do the shit they do to me, I still help. And I will still help each and every one of them if they came back.
This is not about being petty or holding grudges. It's about us as a whole.
You know what it takes? let me tell you something. You know what it takes for me to cast you to hell? You know how much it takes for me to have that hatred in me every day, to think about you, to cast you into hell? That takes too much. It takes too much.
Put yourself through hell trying to do that.
Right.
Say it again.
Put yourself through hell trying to cast somebody else into hell.
Wow.
That's so crazy. It's just crazy how people are, and everything. I just look at so much stuff. I look at a lot of things, but then I have somebody come up to me and just say something to me that you just said something that just helped me through this, and you just said that helped me through that, and it's like that's what makes me keep going. Because there's somebody out there. I might not touch everybody. We all can't touch everybody.
Right.
But if you hit one person, your job was done.
This is a good spot for a break. That's a good spot for a break.
You want to take a 5-minute break?
Yeah.
That's
Because
part
they
of the
know
problem.
I don't really give a damn.
That's part of the
what you need to
problem.
Run around to do, but you can't produce. That's what Joey I.E. did. Made up stories like he did all this shit, got over at Interscope, couldn't do a goddamn thing. You wasn't putting these people out, you lying ass. You don't even know your damn identity. You know, so you start telling that stuff, you gotta live up to that shit. You know, it's like it is not something that you're trying to do. It's something that you can do. It's in you. This shit ain't in everybody. Everybody can't do all these things. Everything's not made for everybody to do.
They don't hear that part though.
Yeah, it's not. It's just not made for everybody to do.
They don't
You
hear that
understand
part.
what I'm saying? But
What's the cliche? You can do anything you want to do. You can do everything you set your mind to.
You can.
Nah,
That doesn't even mean.
nah.
No, but I think everybody has something.
Everybody has an
Yeah.
assignment.
But it's not.
but
Everybody
you have
has
to
a
find
gift.
it. You're, everybody's gifted
Right.
in something,
Everybody has an
and you have to find. Like here for me, I want to go to vocal training, right? I'm always talking about that. I want to go to vocal training. I hate my voice being raspy. You understand what I'm saying? I'm tall. You know what I'm saying? My voice is raspy. So everybody takes it a certain kind of way that I'm doing something to them that I'm not doing to them. Like I'm angry.
Well, you're intimidating.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm not angry. Like, I'm very passionate about things that I'm passionate about.
Right.
And people that I'm passionate about, that's just who the hell I am.
And they mistake that for
And they
anger.
mistake that for anger, that I'm angry. And yeah, I gotta learn how to talk. You know, my grandmother used to tell my mother, Millie, stop yelling at them kids. Them kids ain't gonna never know how to talk to anybody. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think about that. So I want to go to vocal training so I can learn how to not be, you know, have a something. I don't know how to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? But I want to.
Right.
Vocal training ain't gonna regulate that passion though. That's where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Vocal training ain't gonna regulate that
not.
passion.
Yeah, but it has to be a way that I can get across to you without you thinking I'm angry with you. Without, like, I get pissed off when you think I'm pissed off at you. And you telling me I'm pissed off, now you just pissed my ass off. Because that's not where I'm at with you.
Yeah, I go through that a lot.
I don't like when people be so scared. Like, they be just like, then don't do it.
Right.
If you feel like if I'm such a monster, if I'm such this person, or you saying that I'm this way, no, I give you what your hands call for. Don't come to me with bullshit. Just be who you are.
Right.
You don't have to be any kind of way. I'm not bougie. I'm not with all that bullshit. I don't walk around with 15 securities. You understand what I'm saying? It's not necessary. And I get a lot of people that come to me, and a lot of people like, oh, you be out. I go outside, my heels is crusty. You know what I'm saying? I ain't together. I don't care. Because if you see me, you're not going to always see me in a way that I'm all made up and going through this shit. No. Right. You know, even when I film, they be like, I'm not putting no goddamn heels and makeup on in no goddamn kitchen. I'm cooking. Who goes in their kitchen like that? That ain't real shit.
Right.
But I understand television. Tell lies to your vision.
Right.
But that's what we're not doing because that's not who I am. So everything that everybody seen with me was who I am. And I'm not mean to people. They got to understand that people just chop and screw up the shit that you do and that you say.
And make it.
Then they make it because they have to make it for television because they make it all nice. You ain't going to want to be bothered. You don't want to see that. And people like the negative. They like negative.
My bad.
That's what they like.
Yeah.
That turns them on.
They're attracted to it because most people are in a negative place. So they gravitate to that. That's the frequency that they set on. They feel like, oh, I can't chase my dreams. I gotta work this job I don't like. There's a talent in me, but I feel like it's worthless. Like they
but
start
sometimes
to
they have to
shrink
get
as
up.
they get older.
Math, they have to get up. Okay? It's not all about the dream.
Right.
Sometimes you have to wake up from that dream and set it into reality.
That's a fact.
You can't always lay there and just dream, wish, hope, and pray that this can happen. You got to get up and make it happen.
They don't know what that looks like.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Make it happen by any means necessary.
They don't know what that looks like.
Yeah, but you just said it though. They are in a negative place.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
So it's easy to grasp to that.
I'm not negating. Look, we've talked about this tons of times. People will stop and watch a fight way faster than they'll stop and watch two people giving each other a hug.
Yeah.
The fight.
Nobody wants to see nothing good.
Nothing
See,
good.
the fight's entertaining though. People thrive in conflict.
People do.
People
It's
thrive
just
in
not-
conflict. More people are gonna watch the fight. You'll
It's-
see a crowd around two people fighting versus a crowd around two people dapping
human
it up.
nature, bro.
I'm
Like,
not
we can't fight
negating
against
it.
that.
I'm not negating it. I'm pointing out the reasons why.
I
This
learned,
isn't me
I learned
trying
early.
to.
I learned early about that watching that fight shit. That's the first time I landed in what's that precinct in Rochdale?
Oh Jesus!
113.
113. First time 113 open, I was coming in.
From watching the fight.
Watching the fight. Guess what? I got picked out. Guess why? Tall, green eyes. When the detectives came through with the people, I got picked out.
Wow.
Hey, you're memorable.
And guess what? My first charge was I had a rape charge, an accessory to a crime, because the guy went to the girl. The Catholic school was next door to the 600 school over in Laurelton, and I went to the 600 school. Okay, and he was out there. He fingered the girl. So because we was all out there watching, that was a charge on me. That was a charge. I got charged with that.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Yep, 113 precinct. I went in there when the 113 precinct first opened up, and Prince was working in there. I don't know if you remember that. Casey's husband.
Casey.
Yeah, at that time. Yeah.
Grand opening.
Yeah, when I come, that man, he was so
Christened the
goddamn mad when
precinct.
he knew I was in that precinct and what I was in there for. Like, that was crazy. But in my time, too, I ain't trying to be funny, but I thought that was big ass shit, me going up in that damn precinct now. Now I'm really big. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to understand that with my uncles and the lockup and him escaping from jail and all this, like all the stuff that was going on and all the stuff that I was doing with them also, that was big. Now I'm in here doing this stuff. So this was generational. Like this how we rolling.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So even when I'm coming out there, it wasn't so much as us being an Antney, I was a pain. You know, I was a part of that right there. So you come on Merrick, they ain't doing all that. You ain't, man, we can do whatever. It didn't matter. So here I was, my examples that I was looking up to was doing the same thing. It's the same thing with these kids that's in this game.
It's the same thing.
It's the same exact thing. You know what I'm saying? So I remember when I was up on, what's that street up there now where the bar used to be? On Liberty Avenue. And I was at the bar.
Black Cat.
The Black Cat. I was working out of the Black Cat. And my uncles were sitting up on a car watching me on, watching me over there on the block. And while I'm moving around and stuff. Instead of them wanting to bust my ass or whatever, no, they right there. Then one of my uncles robbed me. You know?
That's crazy. That's beyond the point of
that is a
enabling.
form of ass whipping. That is a form of, okay,
what
this is
I'm
what you
saying?
want to do? All right,
Hazing.
cool.
They hazed you. They hazed you.
That-
But that's a big part of what's wrong with society.
Yeah, it's like you look up to this because these are the people that you admire. You admire these people. You know what I'm saying? So you look up to them.
They're your connection. Now, when I was young, I didn't know much about my pops, but people would tell me stories. And the story would be, oh, yo, he knocked this person out. He knocked that person out. So that's what I held on
You
to.
wanted to live that. Now you want to live that. You understand what I'm saying? You know, am I not talking? Let me tell you a story, right? When I was young. He couldn't go with us because he was a mama boy. He cried the damn time. My daddy put him out the car, he couldn't go. So me and Joe would go all the time.
Bimmy,
my dad had a
how's that view
souped-up-
from under the bus?
No, he used to cry. He cried for my mother all the time. Bimmy was a mama.
How's that view from under the bus?
My daddy didn't take him nowhere.
That was unnecessary.
So me and Joe get into the car, and he had a souped up GTO. So every time we go out here, he would say, Deborah, sit right there and don't move. Watch your brother and don't move. I'm like, what the fuck we keep coming to this place for? And I don't know what's going on. So I told Joe, stay right here and don't move. Right? And I gave Joe, I forgot what I gave him, lollipop, candy, something I gave him. And I said, don't move. And I think I gave him like some pennies and nickels, whatever I gave him to sit there and don't move. He was like, okay. Right? Joe didn't go nowhere. He just sat there. I opened the door. And when I opened the door, why did I open the door? To see what I see. The blood dripping, and he's sitting there. And I'm watching somebody's tongue get ripped out. But I watched my first killing. And I never forget what uncle said to me. Whatever goes on in here, it stayed in there. And you didn't see nothing, you understand? And I'm looking, and I just shook my head. So then afterwards, and they going through that, he made me just sit there. I had to watch this shit. And I didn't flinch. This was the craziest thing for me. I didn't even flinch. I didn't move. But when he said something to me, I said, what? I didn't see nothing. There was nothing in there. He said, Deborah Ann, that Italian strong voice. He said, look at her, she's gonna be something. She's gonna be it. Look at this, she don't even move. But they all was laughing and they thought that was big. But I didn't flinch. I looked. But from that time, it made me stern, and it also made me to never talk. I learned early not to repeat things and not to talk. I learned that.
How old were you when this happened?
We're going into my 9th or 10th year of my life. Okay? I didn't move.
At 9 years old, you had to witness that.
There's a lot of things I witnessed.
Do you wish you had stayed in the car?
I wasn't in the car.
I mean, when he told you sit there and don't move, do you wish you had sat there and not moved?
I don't know. I've never asked myself that. But I'm gonna tell you something, right? Even though I went through a lot of stuff that I went through, Mecca, to be honest with you, I wouldn't trade that shit in for nothing in the world. Because I wouldn't be who I am today. And I might have not have been able to make it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So it gave me the strength and prepared me for what I was going up against. I had sons. You understand what I'm saying? I wasn't deciding on my men right. They was in jail more than with me. You know what I'm saying? Would I have been able to do a lot of the things that I was able to do? My mom wasn't that person. You understand what I'm saying? She wasn't it.
Right.
So would I have been able to do a lot of the things that I did? Would I have been able to deal with a lot of the things that I dealt with? Would I have came out of it? There's tons of stuff I went through. You know, I went through 18 months of being paralyzed this whole left side. I took 4 bullets with a .357 Magnum. 4. I was paralyzed this whole left side. They told me I'd never have the use of this side ever again.
God is good.
But determination, me getting up and moving and doing what I had to do, I was still there. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's tons of things. I done went through so many things, it's pathetic. And I'm still here. So I know I have a purpose. You know, even when I was in a coma. Like nobody knew that I had corona. I was in a coma. Like he found out when I was in the hospital, I guess he got on the highway while he was just there. They wasn't expecting me to come out that hospital. That wasn't something that they was expecting. But had I not have done the things that I've done, even though I've done a lot of negative things, you understand what I'm saying? And I'm not, I don't know if that's even right to say or however, but he still made it where you can't come up here yet. You still got shit to do. You got to go back.
You got a purpose.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And I have to find out in this rodeo now, what am I supposed to be doing? And I go through that now. How much am I supposed to take? But then I learned some of us is here because we got to take those hits. So I feel like everything that I went through as a kid, I was built.
You was built for it.
I was built to go through what I'm supposed to go through now. I accept that now. And that's why I'm in a different space in my life right now. It's different for me. I did things that you guys was doing. Ain't no females was doing stuff I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Remember when I was busting in the trains? I was busting in them trains. Like, take we had all the Frankenberry cereal and leather jackets, all kind of stuff. I was giving it to the neighborhood. Even when my time in my life that I was boosting, I didn't sell. I didn't sell none of that stuff. I didn't sell nothing. I gave it away to the kids in the community. And there's this one girl, she came to Georgia, she felt me. She felt me. I couldn't remember her. And she was like, it's through you that we had clothes on us. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that we had, and we used to go to your house and we could eat. Shit, I got food stamps like they got food stamps. You know what I'm saying? But I bought food because I fed my kids. My kids didn't eat ravioli and stuff. I cooked. My sons ate. They had real meals. But I didn't sell all those leather, the suede, fur, teeth, everything that was being sold. I gave it away. So I wasn't out there like selling shit to everybody. So I've always been like that. Now I used to do the funerals for the animals. All the animals I found in the neighborhood, I had everybody behind me and I was in the front and we had to pray with the animals. And I was burying animals, like the birds in the Northform box, like the log.
You used to be at these funerals?
Yeah, they had to. We put cotton in there, and we had to. Like my mother cemented her backyard because she got all kind of animals in her backyard. I buried them. I was burying.
You was taking them to the yard?
Yeah, I was taking them in the backyard, burying them. I was just like burying. I had all kind of animals. Then we had the gerbils. We was busting out the wall in the basement trying to find the gerbils. They went all through there. I had all animals. Like I love animals. That's another thing. Until I do love animals.
How many dogs you got?
Only Momo.
We had Champ was out.
Oh, remember Champ? The first dog we had was Champ.
What a
My dad bought Champ.
What a Coinky dink. Wow.
Oh, for real? Yeah, he's a German Shepherd. He was a German Shepherd.
Nice.
And Champ was no joke. He was a really, really good dog. But now I have Momo, because of Frenchie. And I have 7. It's my bird.
What kind of bird?
Oh, that nigga
Catalina.
talk shit.
It's
Shit.
her.
She talk shit.
She's a Catalina McCall.
You like, Debbie?
Now she down there bugging out Lex. She got Electra going crazy now. They be getting some, but me and her argue. We be beefing. So during Corona, she got her own page. She had a little Cash App because she was dancing on the pole of her cage and stuff. People wanted to see her. Like, you gotta hit her up. Dancing.
You pimping your bird?
No, she was dancing. She liked to dance. Put
Yeah.
music on and watch her. She thinks she can really dance and sing.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like she thinks she can really, really do it, but yeah.
Deb, what makes you happy? We hear a lot about all these hardships that you go through. What do you enjoy? Where's the joy come
I don't
from?
know, answer the question. You didn't see how happy she got when you talk about her bird?
That's kind of why I'm asking.
Animals, yeah.
That's kind of because I'm hoping there's more.
Yeah.
I'm hoping there's more than that. I would like to know what makes you happy.
I like to cook. Okay.
Well, I like to
Cooking.
eat. When we going
Well, cooking
coming
was
by your
nice.
house?
Yeah, cooking. I love to cook. Cooking makes me happy. Shopping.
Nice coat, by the way.
Thank you.
Great boots.
Da Vinci.
Cool
Da
purse.
Vinci.
That's the name.
Yeah. Da Vinci leather.
Okay, let me ask a deeper question. Who protects the protector? You put your heart out for so many different people.
Right.
You pour into so many different cups.
That's
God.
awesome. God.
That man upstairs.
That's where you draw from.
That man
The
upstairs.
spirits.
She said that earlier.
As a protector, that's the only place you can go.
Ancestors.
She said the father.
You can't trust these niggas on this earth.
I have a question about Hip Hop Uncovered. Yes.
Can't escape it.
Yes, because I was locked up early last year when it premiered on FX. Everybody was locked in the day room. You actually had us move to tears with your part when you discussed your father's passing, and it moved a lot of us in there in the day room, and not only in my house unit but like throughout the jail in Fishkill Correctional Facility, because the next day when we go to y'all, we like, yo, y'all seen, we talked about Snowfall and all that, but we like, yo, y'all seen Hip Hop Uncovered? Yo, Deb, shit was deep, bro. It was deep, bro. I'm like, yeah, I shed a tear. Like, it touched everybody because a lot of us were fatherless as black men sitting in prison, in the penitentiary, and we looked to our male counterparts in order to raise us, but we looked at brothers in the hood to lead us.
Right.
We wanted the things that they had, so that led us into that space. So my question to you is, what first led you to do Hip Hop Uncovered and actually share all of this pain that you shared?
It was him at first. Because for a long time, they kept trying to get me to do something, because one of the things, there's no female in hip hop that's done anything that I've done.
Right.
That's the first thing,
Right.
okay? No matter what these females say, I never had an investor. I never had a man to back me. I never had all that stuff. So everything that was done was me doing the stuff. Plus they knew a little bit of my history with other stuff, okay? And at first I didn't want to do it.
Right.
He kept going.
She didn't.
I didn't want to do it.
She didn't want to do it.
I just did not want to do it. But there was just certain things that I didn't want.
Right.
You had to show that it wasn't something that I was sitting there bragging about or going through or boasting about it, but you had to show the environment in which I came from.
Absolutely.
That was important to me.
Right.
I did not want this to come across to somebody like I was bragging or boasting about doing all this stuff. I ain't happy about half of the shit that I did out there. You understand what I'm saying? I think I'm plumb ass goddamn crazy. Because I'll be sitting up here thinking like, what the hell was you thinking about when you was doing some of the things that you was doing? I did some shit. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, it's crazy.
And at the time, you think it's normal.
I thought
You normalize
that was
it.
normal stuff.
Right.
Right.
I thought all that was normal. But it's also a lot of these guys out here undercoverly, I did a lot of shit for them. But nobody ever knew it, even to this day.
Right.
I was still right there with them, and I did a lot. They bought things to me, I put things up. Like, it's just like a lot of stuff, but nobody ever knew that. And it was a lot of times that I was protected from some of that stuff. You understand what I'm saying? Not go. I've never been to prison, thank God.
Yes.
I've never been through any of that stuff, and God knows in heaven, I slid by that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But they looked out for me. They really looked out for me. So sometimes it made me mad, like when I get around a lot of them now and talk about it, and they be like, yo, Deb, like our nigga, like, I'll be mad, like the nigga. You know, ain't nothing wrong with me, like, you know, going through that, but I get that. Or they'll say, yo, I'll pick her over this nigga any day. Like, they'll all get, when I'm with all of them, they'll all be talking shit like, yo, when I'm rolling, that's what's rolling with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
little things like that. But I also felt that it was time that people knew who I was. You understand what I'm saying? And some of the stuff that y'all saying, nigga, I've been out here. And I never really was in no damn hip hop. You understand what I'm saying? They were customers.
Right.
But that's not where it was.
Right.
That's not what it was for me. It wasn't like I was in music. Some of these songs and shit, I don't even remember some of that shit. You know, I was getting money. I wasn't like thinking about, I ain't pay that bullshit no mind.
Right.
It wasn't what was popping. I already was popping. Because once you develop something out there, you was already something.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So I already was doing things, but I wasn't acknowledged as the hoe.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But they knew when you came, you had to come correct.
Absolutely.
You know, because you ain't no telling what's going to happen.
Right.
And I'm not backing down from you.
Now, the reason I asked you that question is because Me and a brother of mine at that time, at the end of the series, he asked me, he's like, yo, why you think Deb telling her story now? And I was like, because she got a purpose. She's meant to tell her story at this point because it needs to resonate to people that didn't hear it, that's going through similar situations or situations that's coming that she went through.
They might be at a fork in the road.
Right.
And I think that also during that time, not just for me, but it was a time that we were starting to come up too.
Right.
So it's like you can do it. Or there's tons of conversations that on a sidebar I have with women in the store. Aisle 3, they know Deb in the goddamn store because the aisle is filled. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking to women, or all kind of women talk to me. Like you just be, it ain't even not just in color. You understand? But they all share. They all want to tell me their story or what they going through or whatever.
Yeah.
I just felt like it was time that people know you can do this.
Right.
And I don't have to lie. I'm not going to be ashamed anymore of who I was because I wasn't happy about some of this shit that I did, keeping it 100 with you. I really wasn't. I didn't really want people to know some of the things, like of all the shit that was going on. I need you to understand that you worshiping me because of my son or something that came out. God damn it, I made mistakes like your ass made mistakes.
Right.
I need you to know that it ain't too late, that you could get it together. But there was just things that I was not going to do. You understand what I'm saying? Right. My sons ain't seen me no 100 niggas. Or I'm not bringing 100 niggas in my house. You know what I'm saying? Going through that, I got niggas to come to my house because it's my niggas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But not my niggas in my bed.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Or shit like that.
Right.
Like there's a difference in that. You know, that meant a lot to me. Because I always believed that a man that disrespects a woman is really his mother he's disrespected.
Absolutely.
And I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yep.
I believe that. So that was very important to me for my sons not to, even though I did a whole bunch of other shit, you know what I'm saying? But they can't see that side of me because I always taught them that when you disrespect her, you disrespected me. So you have to remember that. And they have a sister, so they do have a sister. You know what I'm saying? So their sister came up with them also, their father's daughter. Right. So she also, that's my daughter. You know what I'm saying? And then I've adopted other girls. So it's like, that's there. But that's very, very important to me. How I carry myself, that's really, really important to me. You know what I'm saying? So they tell me I wait to get older to come up. Not now. He said, what? He said, Mom, why you wait to get older? No, because I started going out or whatever. It became something different for them, you know?
Right.
But not like that. Like,
No,
not
I
really.
get it.
Yeah,
I
but
get
they
it.
just be going through that. But I just believe that those things is important. And that was important to me to come out to let women know you can do this shit. I was on goddamn welfare. Welfare paid for my schooling.
Right.
Yes, I used them to my advantage. Even though I was out there in the street, nobody knew I was disappearing, going to classes. They didn't know I was doing different things. They didn't know that. But I knew that some of this stuff was not going to last forever. I wasn't going to keep being able to go through all of this stuff.
Right.
And what I wasn't doing, I was not going to prison. I couldn't do Rikers Island. I got locked down. I can't do that shit. They running around here begging for food and thinking this shit is okay. And they walking around like this. This shit ain't me. And you can't lock me down like that. I ain't no animal. I could not go through that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's all I need to do is go in there one time. You ain't getting me to walk back up in this shit. So we're going to move differently. And even some of my games, I start doing some shit differently. My signatures wasn't on shit, somebody else was signing for me. Somebody else was doing different things, but you ain't gonna bring that shit back to me.
Right.
I'm not gonna do that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do that.
Do you think that there should be more Deb Antneys in the hip hop world?
I think there should be more of whoever that person is. That story needs to come out because every woman is unique in their own ways.
Right.
We are each other's keepers.
Right.
Whether we want to admit that or not, we are each other's keepers. And some of us have to be the stronger ones that's up there. We have to be that. I don't care about that shit. Somebody gonna talk about, so, oh, we don't do that because y'all old now, you doing this. Bitch, you better try to get here where I'm at.
Facts.
Because the way y'all going, you ain't gonna make it there.
Long life and longevity is the goal.
You better know that.
Please
I'm not
talk
intimidated by no young girl at all. You understand what I'm saying? I ain't intimidated by you.
Right.
So you good. We don't even do the same things. So who are you that I'm gonna be upset by? And I bet he gonna have more fun with me than you anyway.
That's right.
So if you
Talk
wanna
that
go
shit,
into all
Deb.
of that, yeah, I'm dead ass
That's right,
serious.
that's right.
Nobody going through all that. I ain't got time to go through that. You don't hurt my feelings with that. You better try to make it here where I'm at. Period. So I don't, we have to accept and embrace them. Let them know. That's your job. Like when you going through all this stuff, you can't let that stuff go in vain. And that's another thing that I thought about. You can't sit here and keep holding on to all of this shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Somebody else needs to hear your story to be inspired.
Let
a
me say
fact.
something to you. When I go, you ain't gonna tell my story the way you want to tell it.
Right.
So I better start letting this shit get out now.
Absolutely.
Oh my
Absolutely.
God.
You
That's
know
what
what I'm
I'm
saying?
talking
I better let this shit get out.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
I better let people know a little bit of something, because y'all ain't gonna keep telling these goddamn stories on me. I'm not gonna keep letting y'all keep doing this shit.
Right.
Literally said that to you when we interviewed. You gotta let your story out before somebody else tells it. You know they gonna tell it fucked up.
Oh, they gonna tell, listen to me. I sit here and look at New Jack people that went to school, and now they telling a story about somebody that was back in my time, your ass wasn't even born. But you going by the stuff that what people said, and it's what we talked about earlier. Okay? You can't go back at that. If this is what people want to say, I ain't gonna be that person. You gonna tell my goddamn story right.
Right.
Okay? So even me in a book and the stuff, different things that I'm doing, I'll start and don't get back in it, and I don't want to deal with it because some of it is very painful for me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm grateful. I don't have the stories to tell that I was molested. You understand what I'm saying? Like those things, I'm grateful. You know, they tried me, but I jumped out that bed real fast and shot up there to my grandmother. Like, and they know I'm a talk. So you can't tell me something to shut my ass up. And I'm going to tell my daddy everything.
Right.
Okay? I'm telling my daddy everything. It's like when my cousin tried that, I say he touched my pocketbook. He tried to touch my pocketbook. He went flying through a window upstairs, blood trailed all through our house, like toe up. My daddy ain't playing that shit, and I'm not shutting up. You not touching my pocketbook was everything. That's the one thing they taught me about. That's why that was never given up like that. That's why I always tell women. They said, what's your words you want to say to women? I say, legs closed and pocketbooks open. Get to the money, ladies. Okay? That's what's real, right there. That's what you can't have. So I was taught that. Once they get that, that's everything. Ain't shit else about you that they need to go. There's no more mystery about you. That's the biggest thing right there. You understand what I'm saying? So why give that up so quickly?
Right.
Why? Ain't nothing. See, the whole game changes. The game changes. And you have to understand that. Woo! And let the church say amen.
Amen. Amen.
Amen. Salud.
That's deep, but you made me think about that too, because you made me just think about that, even though I did want people to know. And I didn't want my story to keep going on. I really didn't want to get up there and tell nothing, because, people be lying, they be adding shit too and chopping shit out.
Right.
They want to make the story sound good. You feel what I'm saying? And I don't like that.
But it's just the power of like God, the universe, whatever you may believe in. Because I sat in there and I'm like, yo, I was like crazy inspired by hearing Bimmy's story, your story on Hip Hop Uncovered, and knowing the things I know from back in the days through my uncles, Calvin Klein and all them in Red Hook. But I'm like, yo, when I get home, I'm gonna get next to them. Because I'm so inspired, I connected so much to it. Yo, can't nobody come in the day room, like everybody come in the day room, when it come over, we ain't watching nothing else. We watching this. Y'all wanna watch this, get the fuck out the day room. Because it's something that we all connected to, we all from the street.
Because it took you back. Like
Absolutely.
The way it was.
And you remind me of my mother. You remind me of my mom's. My mom's is from Red Hook Projects, grew up going through it. Crack hit, she started fucking with crack, not saying that was you.
She ain't fucking with
But
crack.
yeah, not saying that was you. But she went through her trials and tribulations as a black
But
woman.
let me tell you this.
In the hood.
Let me tell you this, right? I remember when bass came, free bass. And I remember these guys from California, and they came. I was living in the Deborah Hall building. And we were sitting there, and they taught me how to cook up some free bass. And I remember that they had that shit, and they was like, oh, take a hit. Now, I never liked weed. Like, that was just stuff that I didn't care for weed, right? And he said, just do that. I did it. My ears was ringing like it was no tomorrow, but it was free bass. It wasn't like when the crack era came along, and it was like going along and doing the shit. Woo, that nigga choked me out, choked me out, choked me out, choked me out.
Who choked you out?
My son father. Choked me out, choked me out, choked me out.
Because you...
Yeah. And that was like the craziest thing. But I remember before it ever really got here, it was freebase. And I learned the guy in Cali that had it, they was like the first ones to ever do that. They came down there and I learned how to do that. And it was over.
Wow.
Is it bad that all I hear is Melly Mel in my head now?
What quote?
White line?
Yeah, white line.
Free base.
Yeah, freebase, yeah.
That's all I.
But it was that until people
Mel's just
started
partying. Mel's just
we
partying.
started learning how to add more stuff and make it into something different. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that used to be the illest thing because cooking was easy. That was like easy stuff, you know?
Ticket to ride.
Not for everybody.
Highway.
Well,
Tell all your
it was
friends
easy
they
for me,
can go
but-
my way. Sell your soul.
Like, that was the illest thing with me. I hate science. But that was the illest thing for me.
Oh, God.
That was like something really, really big. And it's crazy. Like my numbers, right? Me doing it, you know, because I wrote numbers, right? So me being in the number game, the crazy shit was I got a job at the Roosevelt Savings Bank in, what's that, Hempstead or Master Peak, somewhere, right? Whatever. But my speed, out of all the people that was in the room, right, my speed was ill because in my head, it was post time. So my speed was so fast, I got hired, bam, right away. Got up there, so I'm in a room, security's there, we in a glass room, and how the stuff is, and going in there, and I'm on the machine, click, 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 and I played with some numbers, and bam, I hit a number and created an account. I left.
Wait, what do you mean?
I left. I didn't go back to work. I quit.
Man, you must have hit for a lot.
No, I didn't take the money.
You didn't say
I put it back. No, I swear for God in heaven, I put it back. I was scared to death. Because I opened an account and the account was sitting there for a minute, like I think like a month. And nothing was ever noticed. And this one lady, every time it was her account, every time she come there, we have to go downstairs. Two of us have to sign up on an account. Little goddamn lady come get $15, $20. She had money. But the money was never, ever noticed that it was gone. And technically, it would have never came back to me because it was a whole nother kind of account. It didn't have, there was no way of knowing at that time then how things are now. It's the same thing like when I went to Georgia and it was crazy. I was clear on everything. When I went to, now I'm out doing all these stuff. I'm in all the detention centers and I'm doing stuff. I had a warrant on me in Hempstead. All these years down there. I had a warrant on me in Hempstead. And the reason why, because they had just started putting everything together. And everything was computerized now. And things was coming up.
Can't imagine what your karma might have been like had you dipped into that lady's account. It's probably a good thing you didn't do it.
I didn't touch it. I swear to you, I would say it now.
No, I mean,
because they would never know. But I never did, but I quit. Because I knew what I was going to do.
Right. Right.
I knew exactly what I was going to do. Although I've never, and I always wanted to do a bank. I was a driver, but never went in. But I always wanted
Why?
to. Huh?
Why did you always
Just
want
adrenaline.
Oh, Lord.
You have to understand where I was
Right.
during that time. Like, I'm telling you, like, stuff of where I was during that time. It's like, it was sick.
Right.
It was really, really sick, and I wasn't a dummy. I was not a dumb. My mother beat me in my head with a loaf of Wonder Bread because she sat in the back of the room and watched me teach my class in there doing stuff. But I was just effing up. And I wouldn't get shit together. And she was so angry at me. Like my mother told me I couldn't have children. There was a lot of things. She just didn't want me to be how she was. But even though I told her I would never be her. I never wanted a husband. Never wanted a husband.
Why?
Because of what you saw husbands
What
do.
I seen. Never wanted one. So I never had the desire to be married to no man. But I wanted children. And I really didn't care if I had kids I wanted 15 kids. I really didn't care if I had 15 kids by 15 different men. If I had to. Because it wasn't about the man. It was about my child. That's who I wanted.
Deb, have you ever done any like kind of therapy to work through some of these things? Some of the traumas? Some of
what's
these
funny?
sound like ill traumas.
Let me explain something to you. Here's the illest thing to sit down on somebody's couch when you can start reading them. I'm trained too. So I can look into you and tell you shit about you.
This is a therapy.
So it's my therapy.
This is
This
a
is it.
therapy.
I'm going through therapy right now, whether you know it or not. You might be happy because I'm sitting here doing this. No, I'm happy because you sit up here and let me dump my shit on you. Okay? So it's like fair exchange ain't no robbery.
Right.
And that's just real. I'm happy about it. Because I don't get to talk about these things. I've always kept things silent. I've never said a lot of things. I didn't say things. I just stay silent. And I let people say what they want to say and do whatever they want to do. So when I get to speak, even though I start spattering all over the place, and I'm all over the goddamn place, and it's zigzag, but just keep up with me. Just keep up.
Right.
And that's why I told you, no question,
We'll go on there too. Yep.
you just have to be prepared for the answer.
Well, I got one last question. If you had a daughter, what kind of life would you want for her?
I do have daughters. I do. They might have not have came through here, but I do.
What kind of life do you want for her?
Not my life. I'll tell you that much. Here's my daughter. I birthed in music, Nikki. I said to her, I'll leave you alone when you walk on stage. My job is complete. Do you understand? She did it. She did everything it is that she had to do, and I still fought in the background. Still. Do you understand? Very, very good. Stephanie. She's one of the best mothers that any child could ever have in the life that she was given from her father and her biological mother. I wouldn't trade this shit in with her for nothing in the world. She's one of the best mothers ever and how she is. And all the shit that she learned. You understand? And then the other girls that I have, I can't really say a whole lot with them. But in doing this stuff with them, I need them to just be them and the best them that they could be. So here's what I even told my son. Even if you become a bum, I want them to call you Mr. Bum. I want that title placed in the front of there.
That's deep.
So even if it's my daughter, do you understand? It's the same thing. Earn that. Get that title. Be the best that you could be. Whoever it is you are, I'm gonna love you regardless. And that's just it. Not sitting there, of course you would love for them to be the president or the doctors or this. Everybody's not cut from that cloth.
Right.
Everybody can't be that. That's not who everybody is. But whoever you are, be the best. Don't half-step with it. That's just it. But I know I don't want them to be me. I don't want them to have my life. And although I corrupted my kids with some of my life, do you understand what I'm saying with the shit that I did? They seen when I thought they didn't see. They knew when I thought they didn't know.
Thank you.
Protect Deb Antney at
Love you,
all
Deb.
costs.
I love you.
Everybody's mother.
Appreciate you. Love you. Yes. Yes.
That was great.
He did the same thing I did. Ain't that so ill?
Yeah.
But is it not rewarding for you?
It is.
Is it not rewarding? So do you not find it to be bigger than what you was running after already?
Way bigger.
So do you
I said it on the
understand?
track.
No, do you understand? So now you understand that sometimes it's not always about what you're running out there for. And people say, oh no, this can't be like this, and you have to feel like that. That's not what you were supposed to do.
This is what I realized. Chasing your dream leads you to your purpose. You just gotta know when to veer off.
It's Hoffa, trapper turn smack rapper. Only smack rapper that you know is smack rappers. Got bars, I can hang with the backpackers. Trap star, I don't hang with the backpackers. I'm in the hood with the work, you heard. Making fiends leave earth, you heard. Got your baby mama thirst, you heard. Feel the flow, nigga, throw it in reverse. This the wave you need to surf, you heard.